Do you think like Kyle Westmoreland of the U.S. Air Force Academy is the least likely guy to go to LIV in the world?
I got to be up there pretty high.
Have to be.
Just a non-starter for you. Just don't even come and ask me.
Fore Play presented by Barstool Sports. We are back. We have a very special guest today, Kyle Westmoreland, who just graduated, got his PGA Tour card, and he is the first graduate from Air Force Academy ever to earn his PGA Tour card. So we chatted with him for about 30 minutes. He's making his season debut out in Napa on the PGA Tour. He's excited. He did 5 years of service, Air Force, the whole deal. So we get into all of it, as you can imagine. Great guy. Great American, great guest. So that's coming up on the back end of the show. A little administrative reminder. We have Thursday night, Dundonald. We're going to put it out before football, so 7-ish I think we're doing, right?
Yep. You got lucky, Roger Goodell.
Roger, if you're fucking listening.
That we decided to bring it back. Your viewership would have been cut by 75%.
I saw Goodell in Colorado at a ski resort one time.
Saw him in the flesh.
Yeah, he's pretty tall, motherfucker.
He's a big dude.
Tall.
I've heard. I've never seen him.
Yeah, like one of those big Canada goose, basically. Ski snow jackets with the fur.
Fur. He had fur in the back?
Boots with the fur. He, if you were making an NFL movie, he is the perfect commissioner typecast.
We saw him at Augusta a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's there during the Masters.
He's there during the Masters.
I think he's a member and they all have to be there.
We were talking to someone. I don't think it was Kisner. We were right by the clubhouse. Someone brought out drinks for us from the clubhouse.
Was it Kevin Hopkins?
It was Hopkins.
It was Hopkins.
And then we were also talking to a player.
We were
Stu Hagestad?
I remember. I think it was Stu, and I remember Colt Knost was there too.
Colt Knost was there.
Yeah, the Penguin.
And I was saying, I was telling him to be ready to film me in case I have to do, because I've always had this idea that I'm going to go up to Roger Goodell on one of these things and go and shake his hand. It's either Roger Goodell or Henrik Lundqvist. I'm going to go and shake their hand, then I'm going to give them the slow.
Yeah. Swipe the head back.
Swipe the head back.
Right.
And just crush them. Just no thanks. And say no thanks.
And you have to have it on video.
You have to have it on video.
Dave would go crazy for that.
He would go crazy for it. And I've tried to do it. And I knew that if I did it at Augusta, we'd be banned forever, but I think it's worth it.
Tough scenario to be right outside the clubhouse at Augusta. He's in a green jacket. We're lucky to be in the state of Georgia.
Barely.
And you would have done it. Yeah, I remember you talking to me about it being like,
I have
this whole thing, but this is not the spot I thought it would happen.
And I felt like I pussied out. I just never got the chance.
It never came up.
He never turned his back. And I didn't want to scream, "Hey, Roger!" That would have been even better.
Do you think you would have done it?
Yes.
No way.
Yes, I would.
They would have been like, "Get the fuck out."
I would, and I will too. I'll do it.
You get kicked out of Augusta for punking a member.
Will you get kicked out for that?
Oh yeah.
It wouldn't draw the laughs that you expect.
How fucking
I don't
soft
think.
is that guy?
Putting out the video would get you in real
would.
trouble.
Big time.
Yeah.
You don't care in real time. Who cares? The
Right.
video is what it's for.
Yeah.
Video would be all time.
It's true.
Just too
I would have
slow.
had to film it too because I had
Too
the camera.
slow. Oh man, come on, man. That's Barstool right there.
You'll have a chance. You'll have a chance to do it again.
Yeah.
You'll have a chance.
Insane
I don't
video.
want to go in rogue and with the. I'm just saying, if the opportunity presents itself, that's always been my plan. Maybe I'm now giving out my cards.
Yeah, you're not a punkster. You're not going out.
I'm not
looking for
going
this.
there trying to wreak
If it
havoc.
finds you, this is how you're going to.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Never do that.
I'm just saying, if the opportunity presents itself, I will too slow him and say no thanks.
Sounds like you had a pretty good opportunity at Augusta.
But I did have a good opportunity, but I remember I was so in the moment that I was like, Colt, if this happens, you have to. And he's like, I'm not fucking doing any of that shit. He's like, I'm not filming you at all. He's like, I'm on the other side of the ropes. I'm drinking these. What were those things called? The Magnolias.
That might have been it. That might have been
They're
it.
like frozen magnolias or some shit like that.
Mhm.
Oh my god,
They were really good.
Yeah,
Really good.
The under the tree hangouts at Augusta. It's pretty close to
special.
golf heaven.
It's special. Yeah, there's
You feel lucky to be there.
There's little fucking petals slowly falling down from the tree.
Riggs, do you remember? You're probably not going to remember this. Do you remember who did we see hanging out right under the tree?
I know
near
who
the
we saw.
clubhouse. You remember who it was?
It was. Oh wait, hold on. Was it Tom Rinaldi?
Yes.
It was Tom Rinaldi.
We just watched Tom Rinaldi alone by himself just stand with his suit jacket over his shoulder, just stand under a tree at Augusta and just take in the moment.
It was a video. He was making a video essay in his head.
Right. He wasn't. There wasn't
the
any
magnolias
cameras. He was
are
just,
blooming.
Right. He was trying to think of a line probably, but he was just It was so Tom Rinaldi that he was just hanging out under a tree at Augusta, and there was nobody around him, and he was just like, "This is the spot."
That place is incredible.
It was one of the first times in my life we could genuinely see on all of his person that he was in a I'm taking in all of this right now phase, and he wasn't trying to accomplish anything.
Nope.
He wasn't trying to be seen. He wasn't trying to talk to anyone. He just was like, he had the jacket slung back. He might have been hoping somebody was going to take a picture or something, but he had the jacket slung, and he just was like being one with the moment of Augusta National.
Right.
And we were witnessing the whole thing like, that's
I was
Tom
hoping like the
fucking
roots
Rinaldi.
grabbed his feet and he was just going to become the next tree.
It really is one of the only places in the world nowadays where self-reflection can happen.
Yeah.
Because normally it's just like, if I'm bored, I'm just going to look at my phone. Tom Rinaldi was like, I got no phone. I got no cameras. I'm just going to stand under this
That
tree.
place is so crazy.
It's so cool too because it's one of those places where you know that the people that you're standing around are really important in some walk of life, and the tour players know that too. And so the tour players are like interested in talking to people.
Right.
A lot of times, like at tournaments, they finish and they kind of put their head in their phone, like you mentioned, and just walk away. They stop and talk because this guy, I might be able to, an investment opportunity, or I might want to go on his private jet to some vacation home. So the players are hanging out. The patrons are hanging, kind of watching. It's a good place.
Augusta was the first place I saw Bill Simmons in person.
Okay.
It was very odd.
Yeah.
He was with his dad.
Small, right?
He was taller than I thought he was going to be.
Okay.
But it was him and his dad, and they walked right past us. We were walking towards the par 3 contest, and I just recognized a face, and it was one of those moments where you're like, I know who that person is, and it's going to take me 2 seconds to place it. And then as you went by, I was like, that's Bill Simmons.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
One of the best people I've met at a golf tournament was Chris Mad Dog Russo at the PGA Championship in Bethpage.
Dude, I was with you.
Yeah, how cool was that? We talked for like 10 minutes on the outside, like at the end of at the range. We were at the chipping range.
We were near the bunkers.
Yeah.
So I don't have as much of a history with him because I didn't grow up in the New York area. I know him and Francesco were like gods, and that was
Mike and the Mad Dog.
That's how
Mike
I got
and the
to
Mad Dog.
sports. I mean,
That's
my dad would run out into the car and listen to them start their day, like before school. Like we would actually sit in the car and just listen to Mike and the Mad Dog.
That's why Simmons was so interesting at Augusta,
Right.
because I was like, I've been reading that guy forever.
Right.
How do you feel about the Mad Dog or Russo going national? Because he's like all over ESPN now. He's no longer like a New York only.
Is he
Still
Stephen A.
like-
Smith's new foil?
Yeah.
I still like his like personality. I like his shtick. I think it's hilarious. I think he's actually great for Stephen A. I think the way that they like he's gone viral a couple of times,
A lot of
screaming
times.
back at Stephen A. And like Stephen A. actually cracks for the first time in his life.
Stephen A. makes me laugh out loud. Every single clip I see from him, I laugh out loud.
I think it's a really good litmus test, Stephen
He's
A. Like,
phenomenal.
If you don't like Stephen A. Smith, like you got issues. You're taking
You
things.
just don't
you're taking-
understand
you're
what's
just-
happening.
and you're
The
taking
best-
things way too
The
seriously.
best is his poise to deliver. Like when someone else says something and he takes that just extra moment to be like, all right, everyone. I hope you're ready
You know
for
what's
this.
the most impressive thing about him? Like I was talking to JJ Redick about this when we golfed with him, and he's been with Jay. He's on that first tape with him, and he's like he is a showman. Like he turns it on.
Of
Like it's not
course.
like he's like that all the time. It's like
it's a
when the
performance.
lights go on, it's a performance. It's an actual performance. That's how good he is.
That's
That,
what
like,
people don't get with like what you're saying, Danny. People who are like, his takes suck and he's the
No,
worst. It's like,
he's-
you don't get it.
You don't get it. He's like
Yeah.
actually saying things that are gonna get you mad, and he's like, it's all calculated.
It'd be like if you went to a play and you're like, I can't believe that character's
guy's an
vantage
asshole.
point. Like, what a dick, and he murdered that other guy. It'd
Same
be like,
thing
well, I
with
mean,
Bayless.
It really is.
it's a character.
It's
a
such a
play.
good point.
It's all pro wrestling. All
Yeah,
of it is
right.
pro wrestling. Dude, Stephen A. Smith walks out in a cowboy hat and is like going crazy with against
with like the
people.
Lil Wayne chain.
Yes, dude.
Or no,
It's,
that's
it's all
Skip
performance.
And it's
wasn't
like,
that
now
else.
let me tell you guys.
And if it wasn't that, it'd just be a regular guy talking sports. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's Stephen A. because of that.
And dude, how about when he did a couple weeks ago when he teased that he was gonna have his take the next day?
Oh yeah.
When
Dude,
Tune in the first take.
the best was when he threatened Kevin Durant. It's just like-
What'd he say?
Well, Kevin Durant came at him and said something. And he was like, "You don't want to make an enemy out of me." It's a great clip.
I'm Stephen A. Smith.
It's a great clip. But yeah, it's a performance.
it is the right test. It's like if you don't find Stephen A. amazing, then we're not on the same wavelength when it comes to just the internet and humor and TV.
It's actually interesting that you talked to JJ Redick about that because he is nowadays one of the few guys who's genuine.
Yeah.
He like has genuine takes and feelings and will chop guys down who give like the tree topping hot takes.
He got into it with Russo pretty
did,
aggressively about like, I don't know, it's like a shut up and dribble type stuff.
It was.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's like two sides of it. You can either be Stephen A. and you can be pro wrestling and you can be outlandish, or you can be JJ Redick, who's like, no, this is what's actually happening. It's an interesting dynamic.
I interned at ESPN one summer when I was in college. And I remember seeing him in the cafeteria, and I was super starstruck. Yeah, and he was just
tall, right?
He was very tall. He played college basketball. He's like 6'3" or 6'4".
Oh, wow.
And he was just funneling gummy bears into his mouth. There was like a little in the
Got to keep the energy up.
in the little. It's not a little, but in the cafeteria there was like a little candy station, and there was one of those jars that you pull a thing, and there's like a funnel, and he was just funneling them into his mouth.
Phenomenal.
It was amazing.
So
Oh
good.
God, I love him so much.
What
He's
years
great.
were you? Did you intern at ESPN?
It was the summer of 2016.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to think.
we lived in like a junior college. It was okay.
Okay.
So
Southington, Connecticut, not my favorite place.
Sling Television has something for everyone. All your favorite shows and your favorite channels, all right at your fingertips. What you watch is up to you. It really just depends on what kind of mood you're in. Let me tell you about Sling TV, because we're on the road nonstop, as we discussed in the show at great length. When I land, finally get back to LTE, even when I'm on a flight, when you're in an Uber, the fact that I can just plug in and watch anything in real time on my phone, on the app, is one of the great advantages of my life.
I got a question. Can I get Sling TV on my brand new iPad?
Yes, you can.
Trent.
You have to have service. But yeah, you can.
Right, you
Okay.
can.
Dude, let me tell you something
can
about
watch something
Sling.
right
In the
now,
beginning
Trent.
of this ad read, like when we started
You wanna
having
watch
this
something right now?
partnership with
There it
Sling.
is. I got an iPad, by the
When
way.
we started,
Okay.
yeah, you did get an iPad, and I didn't pull the trigger on it, and I don't
Were you
want to
guys
really
together?
talk about it. No.
No, but we talk
Dude,
about
I'm watching
iPads
Eamon
all-
Lynch on fucking Golf
There
Channel
it is.
right now.
We've been talking about iPads for a while now. Just like, let's just each get an iPad, because Riggs has one, and now Danny Rapp has
I
one.
gotta get an
And they're
iPad.
just sweet. They're just sweet, and I've always wanted one.
You don't have an iPad?
I wish I had mine right here.
Jesus.
And I
bring
bought
it
one.
around with you?
Dad
Where'd you
got
get
a
it?
job?
It's in my bag. I went to Best Buy yesterday, and I pulled the trigger on it, and I'm very happy that I can watch Sling TV.
First day on the podcast with an iPad, you didn't bring it out. It's crazy.
I got one. He doesn't need it.
I have one. Yeah.
Look, I got Sling TVs in the bottom right corner while I'm
when we
doing
started
ad read
talking
for
about Sling TV, I was like, yeah, no, I'll talk about it. Like I have cable in some of the houses in my house, in some of the rooms in my house.
Was it 1980 in
Some of
your
the rooms
house?
in my house, and I was like, do I
Got
need
the rabbit ears on
do I
there, too?
need Sling? And then I got Sling on 3 of the most of the rooms in my house. Like
there's Kier
both
addiction.
guest room, and then on the we have this new bar. And when I tell you I am addicted to Sling more than I am the cable,
Yeah.
it is so much better. And I'm not even kidding that I'm going to cancel the cable.
Yeah.
It's that good. It's got every single channel.
Buy an
It's
iPad
got-
with your savings.
It's got Red Zone.
You're going to cut the cord.
It's got Red Zone on there, which I've never had Red Zone. I've always had to like stream stuff and like go on weird websites. Like I just watched every single football game.
Yeah,
I
that's the
bring
first
it in the
time you
car
went
with
on
me
weird
now.
websites.
I'm able to do all this shit. Dude, Sling is legit. It's actually, and I'm not even kidding, it's actually better.
Getting Sling is easy, too. Sign up and start watching in just 5 minutes. You can stream on any device and record up to 50 hours with included DVR space. Best part is you can pause or customize your subscription at any time. Check out sling.com/barstool for special offers. That's sling.com/barstool. Sling, the TV you love for a price you'll love. Try us today. For Masters, you've been credentialed how many years?
4.
Do you think you burned that bridge?
I
with us?
really hope not.
Okay.
I don't think so. I mean, they know me. I know them. They had good out there. There's obviously someone who knows what's going on. You know what I mean? Like knows how media works.
Right.
I'm definitely going to apply. I want to be there. I want to do serious work. I think they're going to play ball, right?
I shouldn't have said burn bridge, because we don't have any sort of relationship with them.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, not that you burn bridge. Like, do you feel like you've entered a island of which there's not a bridge to get off of?
It's possible. It's definitely possible. It's one of the things I thought about. I was like, am I still going to get to go to the Masters? But
I think you will.
I think I will. I think I will. I
Still
think,
go to the Masters either way.
yeah. I just think that they know that
You might just be
what I'm there to do. Like, I'm not going to
filming
shoot
Frankie.
video. I'm going to write articles like I've done the last couple times.
We got fucking lost in at Augusta.
Yeah, how did you guys? What was the deal with that? You guys just someone like had tickets for you guys, or because you weren't there in a media pass,
Kisner,
right?
Right? Kids got us in.
Kids got us tickets for
Wednesday.
Wednesday. We had badges. We didn't apply for credentials, nor did we get. We haven't really. Frankie and I had a call with Augusta one time. It went well until the last 5 minutes.
When you asked for something?
No,
it's a
lady
really good story.
She's
Lady
like,
just
oh, like
buried us.
the whole call we just had.
What year was this?
This was like 2
2,
years
3
ago.
years ago?
She's like, oh, the whole call we just had was great, but what about all the times you guys just never follow the rules and all this merchandise that you guys just rip off on all of us? And we were just like, whoa. She like flipped it on
You
the
had
whole
no answer.
head.
Dude, and I kind of BS'd my way through it pretty nicely. And then she goes, I want you to take a look at the latest item that you guys put up. The one that says Amen Corner on it.
The Amen Corner bet that we did or something like that.
And just let me know if you think that didn't, violate our
They're
likeness
not.
and
You know what?
copyright.
This next year might be our least likely year to be allowed in because they did not like the video we put out.
I don't think they like that at all.
I will tell you that video made its way around the press room.
Of course it did.
And everyone was like, how the fuck did they do this?
We just put out a video of our day at Augusta, and it was an amazing video.
Which
It was
is not the
fucking
only one
awesome.
on the internet.
No, it's
Other
not the only
people-
one on
You
the
can
internet. Other
have a
people do
digital
it.
camera during practice
Can you
rounds.
do video?
Yeah,
Did
you
we,
can have a digital
yeah.
camera.
Then
Did we
you didn't break any
monetize that
rules.
video?
Thank you.
Maybe.
We looked it up before.
Yeah.
What's up?
Did
We
we
had no
monetize
ad
that
on it.
video?
We had no ad on it. We didn't do any ads there.
No.
We didn't do any ads. If YouTube monetized it, take that up with YouTube. You gonna ban YouTube?
We'll give that back.
Can you do that?
Augusta can probably deplatform YouTube in a second.
We looked at the regulations, which are like you as a patron, which we were
bring a
patrons.
camera.
You are allowed to bring a digital camera and film and record stuff. So that was like, we put it on our personal, we put it on our channel.
Right.
But like, it's just a personal video of me and Frankie at Wednesday. at the race.
I don't get why that is an issue because we didn't show any golf and it's not like,
Well, it's still up, isn't it?
yeah.
So then it's not that big of an issue.
Another
It
like
wasn't.
someone
They didn't demand we take it down. I think they
They were
just
just like,
they
that
just
wasn't a good one.
They just floated their general sentiment
mad.
that was negative about it.
like I could see like another media member, some of them being like, I'm not allowed to take video. How come I can't do it and they can? But like for us, like people just want like we're just showing our day there. It's a very specific to us video. It's not something that like we're taking away from another media member that they could have done. We didn't do any. They just
What are
wanted to see us there.
What do they say in the press room about us? They're like, I like to tell other people's stories. You know
Yeah,
what he
that's
said?
yeah. We like to have the camera turned the other way. That's
I love that shit.
yeah, that's what I've gotten a lot. Oh, you like the camera on you? We like to turn the camera the
We
other
like
way.
to tell other people.
That's why Jeff
Because on the
Shackelford's
other
site
side
is
of the
called
camera, they're sucking their own
jeffshackelford.com.
cocks, and they don't want that on fucking film.
I did not say that
Sorry,
for the record. That was Frankie.
Who's sucking their own cocks?
I said they're all sucking their own dicks on the other side of the camera. That's why
Yeah,
they
about how
don't. That's
great
why they
they
turned
are.
it out. They want it turned out to the public.
I hope you get credentialed, and if they're like, hey, we're going to give you 3 extras, like, don't turn those down.
I will
You
not.
should be credentialed. You're just doing
I'm
your
definitely
job.
going to send an email
Job's
being
different
like,
than
hey,
what we do.
Yeah.
You can
You can be mean to
throw
about
us under the bus
Yeah,
if you
throw
want.
us under
Yeah,
the bus.
we don't
Like
care.
I disavow
Yeah.
everything
Yes.
they've done.
Like, I'm actually
100%.
here.
In fact,
as
I
a-
would say since I've joined, there's been zero. Like they haven't broken any
Violations.
rules.
Right.
They've
I actually
been perfect since I got there, and they're going to be perfect.
we have been
think
perfect
perfect
since you've been here.
Weekly, you should just publish things that you disagree with us on,
Right.
on any level.
You can even be like, I am a double agent.
Yeah.
I am a
Say,
double
listen,
agent.
this is what's actually happening.
Yeah, I'm a mole. I'm here to keep them in
Yeah.
line.
You know how good that'd be for ratings if you're just a double agent?
That'd be
It'd be
amazing.
awesome. Be great.
I might be.
Slowly just starts putting up like good videos and all these like just every.
He already mentioned good during this podcast.
I know. I noticed that.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. We can talk
Bad,
about that.
bad.
We can talk about that.
I got no issue
I actually
with
like
good.
good.
No,
Me
we
too.
like them.
We're supposed to play them in a match.
I think we're going to.
I think we can really play them in a match now that we have. I mean, Danny's legit,
No,
yeah, Dan's
I think
legit.
we got to. That would do numbers.
and I'm playing better.
You're
really
I have
right.
more confidence now that we could play them.
Let's do it.
It's also a scramble.
It's a scramble.
It's
Anything
like
can happen.
Anybody
I know.
can play anybody.
We'll see
for
how
the most
tomorrow goes. If we just dust the New York Islanders, I think we can play anybody because they're going to be really good tomorrow.
I've been hitting a lot of shots out there. I know you're two. You played. Frankie's played 5 holes, I think, today. He's
I'm
2
2
under.
under, yeah.
He was. I can't. No spoilers from the video in Myrtle.
Oh yeah.
But I'm playing. I played a couple holes today. I also made a birdie on one of my 2 holes. We're playing good.
We put up your first full video, or
Yes.
your first full hole on video out here at Wollaston. It was the 17th. It was a par 3. You made a birdie.
I made a birdie.
I watched that video, and you're just a good golfer.
Also got a lot of action
Yeah.
on Twitter.
I think Pete, there's a lot of new car. Everyone wants to see how I swing and how I play and
It was up
stuff.
for like 10 minutes. I had like 1,500 likes.
Some people are like,
It was
"Oh,
an ad.
why are you talking and acting like Riggs?" It's like maybe because I've watched Riggs do this exact video 25,000
I hate when people
times,
say it, though, 'cause
and
you're
I don't
supposed
know. It's just like maybe it's subconscious. I don't know, but
in the video, you're supposed to talk about the ad and then hit the golf shot. So it's not like Riggs invented the idea of talking before a golf shot. Like it's not. You're not copying Like they would say that about him, like you're just trying to be Dave or something.
All the
It's like,
time. It's
But like
like,
Dave
no,
just
I'm just-
talks and does the thing that he's doing. We're talking and doing the thing that we're doing.
I keep getting
can't
the
talk?
Riggs' little brother and Glenny and a skinnier Glenny Balls.
What?
That's like
What?
The
Skinny Balls is what he's getting a
Look
lot.
at the comments.
Skinny Balls?
Skinny Balls.
Are they saying you look like Lenny Ball?
They're saying I look like a skinnier Glenny Balls.
Like a really
I don't
skinny
see it.
Glenny Balls.
I don't see that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Skinny Glenn.
People are saying they can't unsee it. I actually don't see it either.
Okay, good.
You
Because once you
guys-
do, you won't be able to unsee
I don't
it.
see it.
I could.
Frankie's starting to
Look
see it
at
a little
Frank.
bit.
If you force me to see it, I'll see it.
That's what I'm worried about. That's why I don't want to see it.
No, you guys look like brothers more than anything else.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same color.
Glenny
like facial
Balls,
hair.
man. What a human being.
Augusta. Yeah, so I wouldn't send them this podcast if I were you.
Okay.
You know?
They'll be okay, dude. They're human beings. They get it.
I think about that a lot too. Those are just people that run that.
And
place.
they're like a lot of them are fans.
They knew the pizza
There's
reviews.
just like two people that like.
We did 25 minutes with her on the phone, and she was great. She's like, I'm actually a big fan of this pizza review. Frankie's like, oh, yeah, I'm filming those. Great. Then we went through a bunch of stuff. She had heard some of the interviews, and like, and then she just had the hammer drop at the very end. And
So
was
that's
like,
the issue is the merch.
I imagine there's more than one issue, but that's the one that she really put
The problem is
kibosh
that we
on
don't
our
get
call.
credentials, so then we have to do things like we did last year. Like we're one of the biggest golf brands on the internet. We're not going to be or cover the Masters. Like why are they suppressing that from us? It's insanity.
What are you allowed to do with the Masters
Not
when you're
much. That's the
credentialed?
thing. Really not much.
See, that's another reason we haven't
There's
really
no
given it a
phones
ton
on
of
the golf
effort.
course.
Right.
So what are we going to do without a phone for
Oh,
fucking
really?
Yeah.
10
See, I
hours?
was always under the impression that media could have their phones
No.
on the golf course.
Nobody, dude.
Absolutely
Oh,
not.
interesting.
So the only thing we would get is you're able to we would just be in the media center instead of in front of our TV on the couch
Didn't
for the
someone
most part.
sneak in their phone like last year? Wasn't there? A
No, it
media
was a
member?
guy from Snapchat that was allowed to have it.
There was also a
Like the only human on
there
the.
was also a PGA Tour coach who I won't name who was escorted out because he was just like checking the leaderboard behind the fourth tee, and they were like, "What do you think you're doing?"
Jesus.
Hey, escorting them out, and the player had to like go and be like, "Hey, he's my coach. Like, please let him back in."
I thought did you guys tell us a story that I can't remember if it was off mic or on mic, so I'm not going to mention any names about that. Somebody that happened to? They just accidentally brought their phone in.
This wasn't an accident.
Yeah.
Was that off mic?
Yep.
Okay. Then I'm not going to talk about it.
Yep. Yeah, that happened to someone that we
Okay.
know. Well,
Yeah, so there's really not much you can do. All you can do is go out there. You can talk to guys, but you can't video it. You can't. You have to get like a voice recorder to go out there and record stuff.
like
if you
a
want to
20.
talk to
Well, so
people,
we'll
yeah.
keep going as patrons. I loved that. Last
couldn't agree
year.
more, dude.
I really want to be there.
Plus,
just
You
to
can be there as much as you want.
Yeah.
plus we lowered
I'm
the
gonna be eating egg
expectation.
sandwiches.
Like you're telling me, like we can just tell people, yeah, we're not allowed to have phones. So guess what? We're gonna go in as patrons and we're just gonna sit at Amen Corner, have a couple beers, and then tell you about the experience later.
Right.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, I agree with that. I thought they could.
We
I thought
gotta
media
hit up
members could
that
have phones.
Magnolia place. That guy's legit.
Really
that
legit.
place.
You guys getting Berkman's?
No, there's a new place like outside the entrance, and like we should do our podcast from there. We should do live shows from there. Let's
What was
hit
it
that
called?
guy
The
up.
Magnolia.
Magnolia Club. Bro, this place is.
Imagine we couldn't
legit.
come up with the word
What is
club.
it? It's like a
This guy basically
do a
bought
golf
out
podcast.
like 7 properties right outside the gates of Augusta and created this. It looks like Augusta, like the way the buildings are all moving together, and he has like a stage in the backyard. He has a putting green in the backyard. He's got restaurants back there. He had full swing simulators back there. They were there like showing off their
Who's
simulator.
that CEO guy? I love that guy. Looks like large.
That's Jason.
I love Jason. What a legend.
Love him. He's one of my favorite people on the planet. They and they're like, yeah, if you guys want to do like live shows, like for all, I mean, there's thousands of people there. It's crazy.
That would be cool.
That would be awesome.
If we just like hosted shows from there and we could have guys
Yes.
kind of funnel in and stuff.
We're gonna do that
Yes.
for sure. It's just not. It's hard to get guys to funnel in because it's not in. It's not in Augusta.
That's on the other
Like
side
it's
of
in Augusta, Georgia. It's not
Right.
in Augusta.
across the street.
Yeah.
It's across the street when you get traffic and everything afterwards. But if you like, we could get our guys in there. We
Yeah.
get kids and stuff over there. I think he'd be fine with it.
Yeah,
But
Maddie would stop by for sure.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, that's right.
he might be too big for us now.
He's big now. He'll still do it as long as he doesn't.
How
long
much
as
contact have you had since you got this job with Maddie?
a lot. A
And
lot.
is he pumped?
Yeah, he's super happy. I mean, he's very British, so everything's like, "Oh, how you doing, Barstool boy? Like,
Right.
how you doing, Mr. Camera? Like,
Yeah.
oh, he's always
Yeah.
everything always comes with a
Mr.
joke or
Camera,
a
that's a
chirp.
good one.
Yeah, something like that. He's like, "How does it feel to have a camera in your face during your whole life?" And I was like, "Whoa, just relax." But no, like, we've talked about it. He doesn't want to do anything that he doesn't want to do, which is I
love that.
I respect. He's like,
That's how I
the
am.
thing that I've learned most since the U.S. Open is that what's the one thing that everyone has that they can't get more of no matter how much money you have at the time? And so he's like, my time is not worth anything.
Right.
So if he's there and we talk to him for 30 minutes, yeah, if we want to ask him to play a round of golf for us on an off day, I'm not so sure that he would do it.
I would love to do a 4-man scramble with him. So
Come on,
that time
Matty.
would
Don't
really
be like
valuable to us.
that.
I think he's out.
Grow
I think he
up.
doesn't give a fuck now.
No, he should still fucking care. It's fun.
Does he?
Fun is true. I don't
What's
know.
his social media presence?
Does he
It's
do a
pretty-
lot of? Does he have a lot of fun?
It depends on not the traditional definition of fun. I'll put it that way.
Does he listen to the podcast? I said yesterday that we're all going to die at some point, so we have to have fun.
I don't think he listens to the podcast.
He used to. I know
Matty.
that.
Yeah,
'Cause we used to
maybe-
do tests.
I mean, maybe he
What's wrong
does.
with this?
I
Yeah,
don't
we
know.
used to say color
make
at
me
the end of the
turn
show.
on him.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy who would listen to it every episode and not tell you. You know what I mean?
Well, we used to do a test because he started texting me about stuff that I was like, I think this is like probably a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He has to be listening to the show. So then we would slip in. We said purple at the end of the
Yeah.
show. We said, Maddie, if you're listening, you have to say tell us. And the code word is
Purple.
purple. And he would text me purple.
There you go. Okay, so he does listen.
Purple.
But that was a while ago. He might be off the train now.
He's got a U.S. Open now. He can do whatever he wants at all times.
You won the fucking U.S. Open.
Not far from where we're sitting right now.
No,
can't do
9
whatever he
miles,
wants.
9.8 miles by the crow fly.
He can't do whatever he wants. Can Zach Johnson do whatever he wants? That guy's a fucking. He's just
He's a what?
We
He's
talked
a
about
what?
this
He's
on
a
Putting Green
sheep.
yesterday.
Bro,
He's a sheep.
A
Give him a-
Masters
give him
and
a
an
little bit.
Open Championship
He's a
at
sheep.
St. Andrews.
He's a sheep.
A Masters and an Open Championship at
He
St.
just
Andrews.
walks
It's a Ryder
the
Cup
line.
captain.
Ugh.
What's your problem with him?
Just doesn't do it for me.
That's okay.
He looks like an astronaut.
Yeah, but astronauts do it.
What do you mean?
You know, he just
I've never.
looks-
How can you see a person and say that guy looks like an
you
astronaut?
saw-
Because he's Frankie Borelli's brain.
Bro,
Look at that.
Unfortunately, and I appreciate you trying to defend me. Unfortunately, we did a rendering and he looks just like it. We photoshopped
We showed it to him in an interview.
That's the other thing. He's one of our guys, and you guys. Still
I
shitting
know.
on him.
He was very
I don't
nice.
shit on him
He was
that
very
much.
nice.
Solhead is in the Masters this year.
I know,
Okay.
incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. We'll get him to probably do something. Dude, we got to do chess game. Magnolia Club. We got to
That would
find
be
somebody
good.
for him to play chess with at
We should
Magnolia
get some
Club.
like super smart CEO who's like a
Who's
Augusta
the
guy.
best chess player in the world right now? Is it still that Magnus dude?
I have no idea.
Magnus is his name?
That's a tough
That
question.
sounds like a name.
Dude,
There was
that's a chess champion.
There was
Magnus.
a guy, even Magnus. I think it starts with a C. His last name.
I think
Magnus
IBM Watson is
Cumberbatch.
the best chess player in the world.
Who?
True, he
IBM
dusted
Watson.
everybody.
They've had like series where they play against the computer and the computer always
Yeah.
wins now.
Dude, Trent,
right.
look at this guy.
Magnus
Magnus Carlsen.
I've heard that
Ranked
name.
number 1. Ding Liren, ranked number 2. Fun fact, one of our Barstool Classic champions from last year is Dustin Dingus.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Ding Liren, number 2. Number 3, Ian Neponiakchi.
Chi. It's double chi. Niapachi.
Ass.
Yeah, I knew that was coming early. That's my
Well,
bad. I shouldn't have said anything. Owen's Craft Mixers gives anybody the ability to make a high-quality cocktail right at home. Owen's been with us for a long time now. We created our own cocktail.
They said we could be R-rated. That's why I said ass. I
think that's PG-13.
That is, I know. I was really gonna go
You gotta
hard on
say
it, but I thought that might have I diverted to ass, so we should all be happy and thankful that I did that.
What does R-rated make you want to say?
It's bad. I love Owens mixers. I have a bunch of Owens mixers at home. I love being able to be a mixologist without having to put any of the work in. You just have a can, you have vodka, you just pour it over ice, and it is what it is. It's done. And you can do that without people really seeing what you're doing, and you come back with this ridiculously well-made mixed drink. They're like, "Wow, you really are. You're a mixologist back there. You know what you're doing." Little do they know it's Owens mixers.
They have a variety of mixers over at Owens that pair with any spirit, including the Barstool Transfusion, found at many golf courses and on beverage carts around the country. Owens is at the majority of stadiums and arenas across the country as well. If you're going to a game, get yourself an Owens cocktail. Go to owensmixers.com. Check out the store locator to find a store that has Owens near you. If you don't feel like getting off the couch, order on Amazon or get it delivered in less than 30 minutes on GoPuff. That's owensmixers.com. Just add Owens.
Did you? One of the things that I was talking about the other day
Alazira Fureja?
in the Joe Rogan podcast when
we go.
Zuckerberg was on, that I didn't bring up on the show, but I brought up to you in the car,
Yeah.
was that Rogan brings up the fact that basically Mark Zuckerberg is working on something so much right now to make augmented reality a thing, blend virtual with reality, right? And how much he's advanced in the last, let's say, 10 years. And Rogan said that if you really think about it and expand that thought, it's the perfect example or argument for simulation theory. That another universe has just been doing what Mark Zuckerberg is trying to do and has accomplished it 100,000 years ago, and that we are just like the version of
or
that.
a billion years ago.
Or a billion years
Could
ago.
be any number,
Like, think about how real Mark Zuckerberg's trying to make his virtual experience. He's trying to make eye contact, and he's trying to recreate like environments. And
Wow, you're saying
so now he's
100,000 years, that would be just like us.
it could be so real.
Somebody did it to us.
Simulation.
Wow, that's like the beginning of it.
Because if it's going to be
Simulation could
super
so real that it's just this.
are you guys in on the simulation thing?
I mean, once I heard that, it was like
After that conversation in the car, I was certainly in on it.
I'm not. I'm out.
I'm not either.
really.
Yeah, because
Bro.
the simple fact that I don't think we're ever going to know in my life, and I would rather think life's more beautiful.
Okay, but what are you? All right, but that's like your hopes and dreams.
This is still pretty good, though. Even if it is a simulation.
Really good.
Yeah.
And then like think about like glitches. What if that's what if that's like lightning or some shit? Like we don't know what glitches are. You know, sometimes you're just like, how'd that just happen?
Deja vu.
Earthquake.
I would
Right.
say though that like we
Deja vu is just like, oh shit, we're doing it again. Hold on.
But I would say like here's my counter to that is that there used to be like in humans' minds billions of glitches, and we've just checked tons of them off with science.
True.
and just knowing
Hurricanes
stuff.
used to be glitches. Like
The sun coming across used to be taken across by a god with a chariot.
Yeah.
And everyone on Earth believed that.
solar eclipse.
And then
that was
eventually
a-
they were like, nope, that's like,
but
they're
you're
just
talking
a giant
within
planet
the
flying around
simulation.
the
Like
sun.
everything you're gonna say about Earth is in a folder on someone's computer. Like all that stuff's just happening in there.
You're waiting for the Truman Show moment where the boat hits the wall.
I'm waiting for some kid in a fucking universe that's a billion years away to like he's like jerking off or something, and the mom walks in and he like has to exit out of all of his shit, and then this whole thing comes down because we're inside one of his computers. He's just some kid that started a fucking simulation.
You think that's crazier than the Big Bang Theory?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Because I'm not really in on the Big Bang Theory.
What was Zuckerberg's response when Rogan brought that up?
He kind of danced away from it. Like he pranced away from it.
Well, yeah, he doesn't want to seem like he's like the creator of men.
Right.
Essentially, yeah. Every time Rogan questioned him on like, why are you doing this? He's like, I just think it's going to be better. And Rogan's like, you're just going to make like people not be people anymore. And he's like, oh no, well, how about surfing? He just like kept changing. It was scary.
I listened to it too. Yeah, I thought it was interesting. They did so much on the metaverse stuff that like I got a little sick of it.
Yeah.
And then I thought Zuckerberg, it was super interesting. I mean, like I think it's like must listen just because he's such a big figure in everything that we do.
Right.
But he is truly a robot.
Yeah.
Like he's hard to listen to.
He is very
For that
long.
video when they
And that's rare on Rogan. Sorry, that's rare on Rogan. Most people, like when it's 3.5 hours is up, I want to keep listening.
Yeah.
And him, I couldn't make it through the whole thing.
I felt
this
that
guy's
way.
hard to talk.
I felt that way about Elon Musk. Those guys who they're so smart and they have so much going on. What I've noticed is they really take time to answer a question.
Yep.
And you're just like, and it's the right way to answer a question,
Yep.
right? You're thinking about it and you're like, I want to have a thoughtful response. But when like Rogan will ask Zuckerberg or Musk a question, there is like a 5-second delay where they're like,
Yep.
here's what I think about that. And it's just like,
Dude,
whew.
Elon does that the whole interview.
He does,
And
yeah.
I listen. I think he's done it 2 or 3 times now. He's been on there.
Yeah.
And I've listened to all of them because I went through a Elon phase probably like 6 months ago where I was just consuming everything. But it starts to drive you nuts after however long, where ask a question and then he doesn't say a word, and you're like, all right, hey, like you almost start talking.
They process like a computer.
Yeah.
They bring in the information and
So
they're like, all right, here we go. I'm
You just
thinking
think
it.
about all the things that we've accomplished, and then you think about if someone else had 100,000 more years, how much better could everything that we have be?
And then if they had 1,000,000 times 100,000 years,
Right.
which is, you're getting into the billions of years, which this whole thing's been around for like 14 billion years.
I
So
know.
it's not that crazy for there to be a civilization that is just 8 billion years more advanced than ours.
I
A
don't-
billion.
I think it was you or one of you were telling me that you're a big Roman Emperor guy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like Roman Empire.
Mm-hmm.
They were like pretty far, and then they kind of like cannibalized themselves, and then like everyone went backwards. So like they were,
Did we talk about that the day before he got here?
Must have.
weren't they? They were ahead of like the 1500s, weren't they? In like BC.
They were far along.
Yeah. So
They
there's
could have came up with a car 1,500 years ago, right? They were like on their way to
What I
just
still want to
advancing.
know the answer to is what is the one thing that they just didn't get to that, like, if they would have, it would have trigured all of this, right? Like,
Right.
Because
Like,
it
why
feels
couldn't
like,
they do the Industrial Revolution and
Electricity.
shit like that?
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
It feels like in like 1700 or 1600s, they were like really not any farther along than the
No.
Romans were in like 100.
Right.
So what?
Definitely quality of life wasn't higher.
Right, and then look at from then till now how far we've come. So like, what's the one thing they just didn't get that if they would have gotten it, it would have triggered everything?
Might be electricity.
It's got to be like storable electricity.
Because that really gets things moving.
That's the engine.
Has to be.
I watched a video on aliens that freaked me out about how if we ever run into aliens, it's either going to be really, really bad news or it's going to be okay. Like the chances we run into an alien civilization that is at the same level of technological advancement of us is incredibly
It's either
rare.
gonna be domination.
They're either way, way, way behind us or way, way, way ahead of us.
Did you see Arrival?
No.
Dude,
No.
must-watch movie.
Okay.
It's a very, very realistic depiction of what it might look like if we had an alien encounter.
How do you know it's realistic?
What it might look like. I got a situation going on. In my
You should
house
watch
right
it.
now.
I'm going to watch
It's
it.
really
This guy
interesting.
not going to leave this package at my front door right now. Do I have
We
to
got
be
a live
there?
look in here.
So I've got this piece of art being delivered to my house from a guy named Tim Smith. He painted with his own hands and fingers
real
and
time or
whatever.
just a picture?
This is real time. He painted the 7th hole
What
of
if this
Pebble
guy-
Beach for me.
Record your screen.
Hold on.
This guy just
Can you
like,
talk to him?
Yeah, I'm gonna go on the
You
Ring
know?
doorbell. I'm gonna go on Ring and simply see if I can talk
This
to him. But I
guy's
think it's
just
too
watching
far away.
porn on his phone
Oh
or
no, I gotta
something.
log
What do
in
we-
now.
What we're watching this guy in real time?
I just saw him, yeah.
I saw
Hold
him
on
too.
now.
It's making me kind of hot a little.
He has
creepy,
to.
dude.
It's unlocking something I didn't know I had.
Come on now. He's not gonna leave this thing. Tim
you,
Smith art.
Frankie, can you jack into the microphone on your?
I'm trying. Hold here.
And then we can talk to him?
Wait.
Tap to go live.
What would you call him, Mr. Delivery Man?
He's gone.
Hello? Oh, he's gone. Did he leave it?
Check the other camera.
Let's check the other Simply Safe.
All right,
You
I'm
have
going to
two
watch
out there?
Arrival.
Yeah, I've got the doorbell and I've got the.
You're gonna love it, Trent.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for you to watch it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's more likely than not that if we encounter aliens, well, I think it's almost a certainty that they're going to be super
leave it.
super farther advanced than
Of
we
course,
are.
because they reached us.
But I actually think it's more likely than not that they're going to be friendly and helpful than just destroy us.
Where does that thought come
Just
from?
comes from I don't see how. I think in order for them to be super advanced, that would require collaboration, and they didn't destroy themselves. So clearly they defeated that instinct to be like negative and adversarial towards others, and have worked together to get to this point for so long that if they encounter us, I feel like there would be way more reasons for them to be friendly to us and want to help us than to just destroy us. I don't think it's likely that they would get much out of just being like, oh, we're going to fly by these guys. Why don't we just blast them off the, like, who cares?
I think we're still thinking about it through too much of like a human lens.
I agree.
And that's what's cool about Arrival is like it's not like they're nice or not nice. It's like they don't operate on a community. It's not the same communication
Right.
style. It's just a completely separate ether.
Because the story right now, people always say is like, if they come here, they're going to want our resources. And they're going to kill us, and they're going to steal our resources. If they're here, they don't need our resources. They probably won't even know what those things are.
Exactly.
They're just like, what is oil? What is coal? Like,
You guys are using coal? What
right.
the
We haven't
fuck?
used that for 200 million years.
Yeah.
It's like they're not here for resources. They got the resources.
That's exactly what I
They
think.
figured out something.
They're going to be like, you have a sun there. Like, that's all the energy we need. Like, we don't need you.
Right. They're going to hit the sun like a gas station. They're just going to be like, that's what we're going to use for a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the War of the Worlds is like another example where they're like, oh, they need to feed off of humans in order like that. All these. Have you seen War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise?
They
Yes.
can't breathe the air or something, right?
Yeah, it turned out to be like bacteria. They like
Yeah, the
couldn't-
end is a zero.
Yeah.
The end of
Yeah.
that movie is a zero.
Yeah, it's a zero.
Because they show up and they're like, oh, here are these big aliens. And it's like, oh, our machines can't take your bacteria.
What they sprayed them with water or
Something
something
like
because
that.
there was like living bacteria in the water, and
Yeah.
the water just killed the bacteria just killed the big machines that were just sending
That's
tentacles
believable,
out,
though.
destroying people.
But it doesn't make for a great ending of a movie.
No,
No, it
it's
didn't.
realistic though.
It was, I believe it was a book before. It's better in book form.
That's actually a horrifying movie, dude. When those alien things are like
Oh, yeah.
just grabbing people with that tentacles.
I think that movie came out when Tom Cruise was starting to go a little haywire because I remember the hype for that movie was insane.
What was the one
Insane.
that? What was the one that was
Insane.
filmed like from a camcorder?
Oh, Cloverfield?
Cloverfield.
Yeah.
Don't fucking shake your head, Alex.
And there was another one that came out a couple years later, like 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yes.
That was really
It
good.
was just
Yeah.
like a different series of Cloverfields. Yeah.
Why was
what's-
Alex shaking his head?
I don't know. You're
I
just like-
thought for sure he was going to be a Cloverfield guy, so I threw Cloverfield at him, and he was like, I don't know.
Well, he just looks like a
we still
Cloverfield.
don't know what kind of guy Alex is.
I think I know.
You
Yeah,
do?
he's super into video games and shit. I know that.
And the Buffalo Bills.
The Buffalo Bills.
Loves the Buffalo
Want to know?
Bills.
Is there anything deeper to you,
I
Alex?
don't know what kind of porn he watches.
No?
That's
Come on
really,
now.
That's how you know.
I think
a guy.
that's workplace. I don't think you can ask.
I just said I want to.
That's even weirder, dude. That's even weirder, dude.
I'm supposed to go on KC Radio the next week.
Oh yeah, you'll get all that out of your system.
Okay, good.
You'll get all that out.
You
of
come
your
back fresh. And,
Yeah, I'll come back fresh. And
Cleansed a little
the
bit.
sun's coming out.
Yeah, it's nice out there.
It's been raining in Boston all today.
Relentlessly. What time do we start this fucking show, Alex? 11:50?
Oh, we gotta talk some golf.
Golf?
Yeah, LIV.
GOL.
LIV got the Arizona State, the
The
best
20-year-old.
the best college
David
golfer
Puig.
in the country. Is
He
that
was
who
number one at one point, I believe.
I think he was definitely near the top.
Met this kid randomly.
did?
Yeah, at the Let Them Play Classic last year. I believe his girlfriend at the time was playing in the Let Them Play, and he was out watching her, and he just came over and said, "What's up?" And then, sure enough, a couple weeks later, whatever, I see him in nationals, like playing for ASU and hitting it like 350. I was like, "Oh, this guy's sick." And now he's a LIV guy. Euros love LIV.
Yeah, they do. He's not the first guy. Remember Eugenio Chicara from Oklahoma State, another Spanish guy who was like number 3 or number 4 in the amateur rankings, studded Oklahoma State, went straight to LIV.
James Pyatt, he went straight to LIV.
Pyatt.
He's not
James
Euro.
Pyatt's a little different because
American.
he kind of caught lightning in a bottle at the USAM. He wasn't like one of the best amateurs, so for him it was like, I'm going to turn this win into $8 million or whatever.
Which a lot of people have done on different levels.
Yeah.
That's like Cam Smith really kind of did that.
Yeah, but this is different because it's like I got 2 kids, 2 of the top 10 prospects of the last year who've gone straight to LIV. And so I guess they're gambling that they're going to be there's going to be some path to the majors, or maybe they just don't care and they want the money. And
Yeah.
but it's definitely sort of pokes a hole in the whole argument of these are all has-beens on LIV, and no one is about competition. These guys are just starting their pro career.
And I think we talked about this when there were other younger guys going when this was originally happening. That it's an interesting risk for a young guy like that, because how do you become a star without context? Without the context of the PGA Tour, like what does a star look like on LIV?
Well, I guess we're going to find out. Like if Eugenio or David Puig start winning, we'll see like how big they get.
But honestly, Pat Perez is a star on LIV because he's won like 3 times on the team level. It's like, you know what I mean? He's winning he's winning like $4 million. I don't know what's better over there.
But I mean, a star to like that transcends into a general audience.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Like
saying.
you
I don't
can,
know that
right?
you can.
It's tough. Like the PGA Tour, everyone knows because it's been around for so long. You win this tournament, you win this many tournaments, you win a major, you do all these things, and you get elevated. Then you're on magazines and you're on TV shows and you're on podcasts.
Golf Digest.
If you're LIV, like I just don't like if this guy wins a bunch of tournaments, is he going to get the exposure that turns him into a star?
I don't know. I don't think we have the answer. It's a good question.
True.
It's so weird to think how young and early we are into this.
Yeah.
How long's Tour been around, PGA Tour?
Like they split off in like the 60s or 70s.
You're talking 60,
Yeah,
70
70s,
years of
70s.
history, and we're in the first 3 months of this.
It hasn't even
So
started.
It's really
next
weird.
Year, next
right.
year is when it starts.
It's really weird to try to like guess that type of
True.
stuff. So it's interesting because we're in Boston now. We're at Wallaston Golf Club for the Barstool Classic, our 3rd to last one of the year, our 25th stop of the year. And the LIV Boston was not far from here a week ago. And there's a bunch of people that are playing that one guy had a LIV hat on. He came over and was like, I just thought I'd kind of like rustle things up. I got my LIV hat on.
Yeah.
And we were just having a real conversation about, he's like, yeah, I went to the event. He's like, actually, it was really fun. And he was making a good point of how calculated and prepared they actually are, where he was like, yeah, it was no joke that they did it Labor Day weekend because what was the tournament? The PGA Tour tournament. It's always here. It used to always be here.
It was like the playoff tournament. What was it called?
It was always
Barclays?
No, what was it called? What DJ wanted? Northern Trust.
It
There
was
is.
always
Thanks,
Labor Day
Alex.
weekend. And so he's like, the same vendors that are prepared, the same staff, the same volunteers,
Right.
all that is in place and in place for this weekend.
A lot of
that
stuff
they had
makes
it.
sense. I mean,
so
they
he
were
was
talking
like, they did it extremely smartly, where they really didn't have to raise too much of a new footprint. They just moved it to a different course, but it's same vendors, same people. And he said it was like super fun to be there.
and they've made a lot of decisions that make a lot of sense. I saw an interview that Greg Norman did where he's like, all right, we're going to play in New York, Boston, and Chicago because the PGA Tour is not playing there this year, and it's crazy.
Yep.
I mean, you got 3 massive sports towns that have had tournaments before. They're used to it. And the PGA Tour, instead of having the first playoff event last year, it was at Liberty National. It was in Delaware this year.
Right.
It's just like they're looking at this as just pure business. How can we go to the biggest markets possible? And it makes a lot of sense.
Now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. More athletes are speaking out about the importance of mental health. That's true, but you don't have to be a pro to want to be at the top of your game. Everyone needs to take care of their mental well-being, whether you're an athlete or not. Therapy is the best way to stay in peak mental shape. What inspired you to try therapy? Everybody goes through tough times, stress. Maybe you're feeling depressed about certain things. Maybe it's a bad day. Maybe you're entering the time of the year when it's not your favorite weather and you know winter's coming, whatever it might be. Mental health is incredibly important. We talk a lot about how you put all kinds of effort into your body, into making sure that you're in good shape. Otherwise, you're going to feel terrible. Your brain is no different. You got to put work into your mental state in order to be as healthy as you could possibly be. And BetterHelp helps you do that. When you're ready to feel at the top of your mental health game, therapy can get you there. If you're thinking of giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option. It's convenient, accessible, affordable, and entirely online. Get matched with a therapist after filling out a brief survey and switch therapists at any time. Visit BetterHelp.com/4 today to get 10% off your first month. Seriously, this stuff's important. Mental health is as important as it's ever been. People are talking about it a lot for a reason. Make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure that your mental health is at the top of its game. Go to BetterHelp.com/4 today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/4.
So with young guys going over, is that is everyone's fear of there not being any like grooming in golf? Is that becoming true now, where like you're not going to have the young guys become like the superstars anymore?
I think there's enough good players to fill the void, if that makes sense. Like, as long as the PGA Tour ecosystem is still existing, there's always enough players. Like, it's not like there's only two guys who have star power. Cameron Young, everyone was talking about how big it was that he stayed. No one had any idea who Cameron Young was 11 months ago, 12 months ago.
Yeah.
It happens fast.
Yep.
And people fade fast. You think that there's never going to be a guy who's going to replace this guy or that guy, and it always happens.
Dude, it was crazy thinking about how fast it happens. When we were in Myrtle Beach last week, play golf Myrtle Beach, BarstoolMyrtleBeach.com. Great situation over there. Had a great time. They were talking about, the one guy, Kyle, that we were working with, was talking about how when they had like I don't know if it was an NCAA regional or it was an amateur or something that was at Myrtle Beach, at TBC Myrtle, that they're like, oh yeah, Morikawa was here, and it was like 2018.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, dude, it couldn't have been like 2018. What year was that? He's like, yeah, I think it was 2018 or so. And I was like, holy fuck. Like in 2020, Morikawa won a major championship. Last year won another one. It's like, that's insanity. It's Morikawa was in 2018 playing a college tournament.
Yeah, you look at the 2017 the 2017 Walker Cup team that just absolutely dusted them at LACC. Was Morikawa, Scotty Scheffler, Will Zalatoris, Doug Gim, who's on the PGA Tour, Maverick McNeely. These guys were all on the team 5 years ago, and now they're all massive, massive stars.
It's crazy how fast it happens.
It's happening a lot faster. Like, there's these two, I was telling you guys before we started recording, there's these two freshmen. One's Caleb Surratt, who I think lost in the finals of the U.S. Junior, and Ben James. And these guys are like, the top two recruits. Ben James has shot 28 on his first 9 holes of college golf. He's 20 under, last I checked, he was 20 under par, like midway through his third round, leading by 6. He's 18 or 19. And the kids are they've grown up with TrackMan. They know how to play. They have all these course management systems. They're smarter. It used to be like your peak in golf was early 30s, mid 30s. It's just not the case anymore.
Yeah.
It's so wild to me that things continue to advance, right? Because you think 20 years ago when Tiger Woods was in his peak, they're like, all right, that guy has reached basically a level that other people will probably mimic that is like as good as golf can ever be. And now you're like, that's 70 years removed from Bobby Jones and those guys being so good that now today we're just getting a new generation that's like, oh, they know a lot more about course management. How the fuck did they not like?
Right.
What are they?
Yeah.
How do they not know everything 70 years ago?
And I think a lot of it is like TrackMan and technology has gotten so much better. These guys know exactly how to optimize their ball flight. I mean, these kids, if you had average driving distance at like NCAA championships, I bet you it's longer than the average on the PGA Tour for sure. And the kids just absolutely smash it. I mean, when I play in these tournaments,
wait, what'd you say there?
I think if you took the average driving distance at the NCAA championships, it would be longer than the average driving distance on the PGA Tour. I really believe
Yeah,
that.
they send it. I know a lot of people have said that, but that's, I mean, generally, I think the consensus is because the courses they play in college are way easier. And so guys just send it as hard as they can, and then when they get out on tour, of course, it's significantly harder, and you have to learn that you need to hit it straighter rather than far.
I played with a kid.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think that is right. I played with a kid, Robbie Herzig, who got to the finals of the Met Am, who's that's like a big tournament in the Northeast, and he goes to Colgate, so not even one of these, but he's a really good player. And you guys see me.
Colgate in hockey.
I hit it far.
ECAC.
He was 30. He was a good 35 yards past me, 40 yards past me, and two irons past me.
Jeez.
You know, it's like flying at 315. It's another. They've reached another level of distance.
Huh.
What do you think about that, Trent?
That's blowing my mind.
That hum is unbelievable.
That just blew my mind. The talent pool is deep as fuck.
It's insanely.
So it makes it. That's like a good argument for like what I mean. The question that Frankie posed was like, is this a problem for the PGA Tour when a young guy like this goes? And it's like just the next man up, literally, and they just come.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess looking back, like hindsight's 2020, you know that like Colin Morikawa became Colin Morikawa. You know that Justin Thomas became Justin Thomas. This guy from Arizona State like could have been the next one
for sure.
And now like you're losing him to LIV, and I know that like now that opens up another spot to be that next guy. But at least you're still losing like what could have been the next Colin, the next JT. Like you can't like just ignore that.
We haven't had a guy who's been like so crazy hyped since really Spieth. Like if someone like Spieth had gone where it was like, okay, this guy's won the juniors, he's won everything.
Right.
That would be different.
Right. Like we didn't know about this guy until this happened.
Right.
True.
Like I think Matt Wolff was kind of like that because of his swing and he won the NCAAs. But there hasn't been a guy like that for a couple of years who's like, okay, this guy is like the real deal. If someone like that went to LIV, that would be, I think, more significant.
There's also I feel like there's a chance just the other way that like this, Puig could, if he had gone to tour, there's a chance he could have become a star, but he could go to LIV, play really well, but just never become a star.
That was what I was saying, where it's like I don't know what that looks like.
Well, what does a star mean? He's gonna make a lot of money.
But I'm saying
Yeah.
You know what I'm looking forward to seeing is how they're going to rank guys going into majors if they're going to be allowed to play in them. Like how are we talked about this last like a couple months ago.
Power rankings?
Just like the power, like if we're trying to say like who is the betting favorite going into the Masters, and we all know like how they do it based off of the PGA Tour. You have X amount of tournaments, however they finish. Like, what if like this guy's just fucking tearing up LIV? Like, is he the betting favorite like going into a major? Like, how are you gonna do that? How's
possible.
the Barstool Sportsbook gonna figure that out?
Right.
There was 9 LIV guys who finished T23 or better at Wentworth. 9.
Right.
They played well. They're still good. Turns out.
Right.
It's also that's also the DP World Tour versus the PGA Tour, so it's a little bit misleading.
Yeah.
Right? Because like
Not as deep.
right, LIV took like players from the PGA Tour.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
They
you're
didn't
saying
take
Taylor
like
Gooch wouldn't be playing.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
if you that's in my opinion pretty equal to like the PGA Tour had X amount of people that if you added the PGA Tour player, and because like the it'd be one thing if all of a sudden LIV was allowed to play in like one PGA Tour event and they were like, we had 9 of the top 22 were LIV guys, that'd be great. But like the DP World Tour by its nature is less caliber than PGA Tour events.
Yeah.
So clearly they did well because these guys that are on LIV were taken from the PGA Tour.
Right.
From the better tour. So
Right,
it's like,
right.
I thought that was a little misleading when I saw that.
Fair?
Like it'd be like if they went and played on the Asian Tour and they were like,
Yeah,
the LIV guys, like I get that there's other
people.
PGA Tour guys in the field,
Yeah.
but like that's still an element of it that I think was being lost when I saw that stat.
Yeah, I just think it's, there's a lot of talk about, and I even wrote an article that I look back and kind of cringe at, is like
Your own article?
my own article. It's like you're going to
We
be
do
wrong.
that every day.
You're going to be wrong.
do
a
that
lot
with photos
in this
as well.
business. There was some talk about, are these guys going to be able to stay competitive, right? If they're not playing to make the cut every week, if they're not playing for this or not playing for that, it's like, well, football players are on guaranteed. A lot of them have guaranteed money contracts, right? Or the quarterbacks do. Basketball players have guaranteed money contracts. They don't just stop trying.
I know.
Right? You're playing for your next contract. You're playing for your endorsement deals. You're playing for all that stuff, and you're a competitor. Your whole life, you've gone competing. Just because you have a lot of money now doesn't mean that you're all of a sudden going to stop.
I like that.
I really think it's case by case. I think some guys are that way and some guys aren't.
You're 100% right.
I think it could actually unlock a competitive edge in the LIV guys if they are allowed in the majors more than they were when they were just coasting to the PGA Tour. Like a Dustin Johnson showing up to Augusta National. like being like, now I really want to show these guys that I can do this. Like I have like a new fire in me that I'm like the enemy now walking in. Like they might take that villain role and run with it.
100%. They feel it.
As opposed to just being Dustin Johnson, the 7th favorite in the Masters. Now all of a sudden he's Dustin Johnson, LIV.
Bad boy.
Like holy shit, that's a new storyline for him.
And they feel that way
Pretty
because the tension, which is, I'm surprised by, like it's going tenser and tenser. It felt like this week at Wentworth was like the tensest it's been.
It's galvanizing. I feel like
it's
it's
definitely
pretty
Horschel
cool.
and Poulter.
Definitely becoming like a real thing. And even Shane Lowry in his press
Did they
conference,
come out and say that was nothing?
Yeah, which I think kind of might have been
Didn't
bullshit.
they
Poulter
do like
released like a spoof.
Yeah,
like a video.
but they combined their Instagrams and posted it, didn't they?
I don't know.
Oh, I didn't see that.
That makes me even
But,
more
like, even-
sketched out.
even
Like that
in
it
his-
was real.
Yeah.
In his press conference
But they did do
afterward,
something stupid like that.
Lowry was like, this was a win for the good guys. Like, it's definitely tense. And I think the tenser it gets, the more they're going to feel the way you were talking about, Frankie. The more they're going to feel like they don't want us here. Fuck them.
Bulletin board material.
Yeah.
Does the
I can never say
decision
that
have
word.
to come down
Bulletin board.
for who can play the Masters and who can't? Is there a cutoff, or is it just right up to it?
They make their own rules. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd imagine
That's
there's some
fucking-
clarity communicated.
Fred
pretty
Ridley's
soon
sitting
here.
in a dark room, just being like, "Here's who can play and here's who can't."
I just think there's no chance they shut him out. Like,
here's who can be there and here's
but
who
it would be
can't. On the media
Bubba,
side, it's not
DJ,
Frankie and
Phil, all these guys, Schwartzel. You're going to just tell them that they can't come back?
I saw Podrick say that he wants the majors to be above everything. He doesn't want it to, he wants everybody to be able to go, which is an interesting point. And I think theoretically I feel that way. Like I would prefer the majors to still have the best fields no matter what.
And I think it benefits the majors because it makes them like the Champions League of soccer, right? Where
Right.
it's like there's 4 times a year when the LIV bad boys and the PGA Tour goody two shoes, I'm joking here, but that they all play each other, and that being the majors. The majors would be even more hype, right? Because this is the only time when you get to see DJ play against Rory.
Right. It's as close as people always say they want to see. Like, I want to see a LIV versus PGA Tour tournament. Majors might be the closest you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
On a general level, what would the major's justification or reasoning at all be for not letting guys play that are qualified, that are past winners, or that are whatever? Like, what would their point be?
Yeah,
Do you think
I mean, I guess
that
the
you think
Masters
that was a bad decision by you to go there?
Yeah, the
Tiger Woods
Masters-
says so.
Well, didn't he? Ridley said like he doesn't think it's good for golf. I think that Martin Slumber said the same thing. So I guess they would say like you're not acting in the best interest of the game, but it feels pretty flimsy. Like what I'm saying.
That's
out
what I
loud.
mean. That'd be like if
The guy
if,
won the Masters. You told him he has a lifetime invitation, and now you're telling him he can't go because he decided to play on another tour. It just, I don't know.
That's what I mean.
I don't
That would be
know.
their only reasoning, right? They don't have like. There's nothing else that's in the stipulations.
They could
that's-
hide behind the world rankings, I guess, if the world rankings continue to.
But I'm
shut them
saying
out.
if you are qualified, though, if you're a past champion or if you're,
I think there's almost no chance
they're
they
going to
don't
be
let
like
those-
Sandy Lyles playing, but fucking I can't play. I mean, what are we doing here?
It's a good point. I can't see it happening. I can't see the Augusta saying no to the LIV guys. if
Yeah,
they've
I'd be
already
stunned.
qualified.
I'd be stunned if they
Got
don't
his
let him play.
suspenders on out there, slapping it around.
It's like
I can't
6 or
fucking
7,
play.
and that was a choice that LIV made too, by the way, to go after past Masters champions 100%.
Yeah.
Because they're saying you're going to kick these guys out. We got 7 of them.
Right.
They have 7.
I don't know. I think they've got Reed, DJ,
Bubba.
Phil,
Sergio.
Bubba, Sergio,
5.
Louis,
6.
6, Schwartzel. Did we say
7.
Schwartzel?
That's
7.
7.
I don't know. It's like a 6 or
Yeah.
7.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
I saw Bubba had a moody statement about it. He's like, if they don't want me there, I don't want to be there anyway.
Definitely said it like that too. He's definitely shimmying.
me there, I don't want to be there. It's just made, I mean, this whole thing has been wild.
It would make the majors infinitely more exciting, and they're already very exciting. If it's just
Yeah.
live
I think
versus...
they'll do something next to their name like they've been doing with Russian athletes and like the US
Asterisk.
Open. No, they just like don't put where they're from next to it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they can't have the flag.
Yeah.
I find that to be fucked up, by the way.
It's
The
so
athletes
dumb.
don't
That's
have
the
anything to do. They
stupidest
don't even
crazy.
know what's going on.
That's the
crazy.
stupidest
because
thing in the
their
world.
media doesn't even tell them what's going on.
It's crazy what they yeah.
Their media
what they
says
did in
like
the
there's
Olymp-
Nazis attacking us. We're sending
Right.
the troops, and they're like, that sounds like a good idea.
Right.
Imagine them showing up to the event like, what's going on?
Right.
Tell me what's happening.
And you're like, you're not going to put my flag on there? That's kind of fucked up. Like, what are the
Dude,
athletes?
every
have to do?
Russian tennis player just had nothing next to their name.
That's such
it was
a
like
weird
It was like
move.
USA versus blank.
They weren't even allowed to play at Wimbledon.
No.
And I'm pro. I mean, I'm pro Ukraine.
Yeah, where do we
I'm just
stand
saying.
with
Oh yeah.
But that seems like
Colonial Springs Golf Club on Long
Flag is
Island,
still
where,
up.
where we belong. They've still got the Ukrainian flag right there on the pole, We're still standing.
Is there like a pretty deep connection? Somebody
No,
in the
there's
shop
not.
or
But at some point, I think
yeah.
it's gotten to the point where it's up there for so long that if you take it off, it's then offensive.
Well, I'll tell
you
you
know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
it's up there for so long.
Once
tell
you
you
get
what,
past like 2 weeks.
yeah, you're like,
They're
well,
going to keep
now-
it up there so long, it's going to fade and it's going to be nothing. The flag's not going to be up there anymore anyway.
Yeah, the majors would be way, way, way more interesting if they got to get the live guys in there. I
They
think.
have to, because if they don't, then it's not a true test of who's the best golfer in the world. It just
Right.
isn't.
That was
And-
Patrick's point.
Yeah.
He's like, you got to.
It will be too. It will be amazing headlines when Cam Smith or DJ or somebody peels off one of these majors as a live guy.
It's gonna happen.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're at the Barstool Classic right now. Barstool Classic for 4 years running has been title sponsored by whom?
Truly.
HardSeltzer.com. They got a clean, crisp, and refreshing hard seltzer. They got over 30 flavors of them with a hint of fruit. There's over 30 flavors, so there is something for everyone. Wild berry, long time been my favorite. Their lemonades are really good. They got the margarita pack now that comes out that's got all kinds of crazy flavors that you're probably going to find something in there you enjoy, if not everything. All cans of Truly have under 110 calories, 1 gram of sugar, and are naturally gluten-free. I'm watching over 100 folks out here enjoy their day at Wollaston Golf Club. The sun has come out, and they're drinking Trulies.
I got a tickle in my throat. There's just nothing I can do.
Are you gonna be
about it.
okay?
That was cough number 4, I think.
I know.
You
I'm
need-
I'm gonna have to leave the room. I think.
You need
You're,
to-
Col- you're Chris Collinsworth, right?
I gotta drink a Truly, and I gotta get this itch out of my throat. That's what I gotta do. Fuck.
Whoa,
I just have an itch in my throat.
you're gonna be okay.
Okay.
Dude, it's hard to hear somebody tell you that they have an itch in their throat with an itch in their throat because can't take you serious.
I know. I don't know what happened. It happened so fast.
Still there?
Yeah. I'm fighting through it.
Find Truly Hard Seltzer near you at trulyhardseltzer.com. That's trulyhardseltzer.com. Great for having a good time. Great for getting a tickle out of your throat.
Yep.
All cans have under 110 calories, 1 gram of sugar, naturally gluten-free. Go to trulyhardseltzer.com. Speaking of Sergio, potentially facing a fine for his withdrawal. The DP,
That'll show him.
The DP World Tour Rules Handbook states a player may only WD for emergency reasons or medical circumstances deemed reasonable by the tournament director. I hate this line, but this was for per the Telegraph. An anonymous high-profile player told the Telegraph, however you look at it, this is 2 fingers up from Garcia to the tour. He came to Wentworth saying he wanted to, quote, support the tour, but was obviously annoyed at what DP World Tour CEO Keith Pelly said. Just bad PR for Sergio in general, I think.
Yeah, but
Interesting they say 2 fingers, because that's like the FU in Europe. That's why he said this is 2 fingers to the...
They do what?
I think so.
I thought it was 2 middle
I
fingers.
don't think it was. No, this is like a very offensive thing.
So Ringo Starr and all
no,
that
not
for-
this way. It's like if you go this
Okay.
way, you're like up
Oh,
yours.
okay. I was going to say that was the Richard Nixon, his
Yeah.
departure.
Paul
Did this
McCartney
guy.
and Ringo have been
So
given
if you show the
all
back of your
Europe.
fingers,
I think it's like a up yours situation.
up yours,
Yeah.
Is that right?
up yours.
You're like double fingering them, basically?
I'm pretty
They're
sure that's
asking-
Finger
right.
blasting.
I'm pretty sure that's right. God, you really need to get to KFC
Well,
radio.
dude, there was this. I don't know if it was
You can
real,
say
but
that about
there was
him
this
any day.
commercial that I saw someone sent me. It was like chicken fingers, and they were called the finger blasters, the chicken finger blasters.
Oh,
And you
wow.
dipped
That's
them
good
in the
marketing.
sauce, and they were
That's good
like,
marketing.
you can double blast it.
we're talking about it's good marketing.
It was an old 1990s commercial.
Oh.
I think it was a spoof. It made me laugh though.
How much do you think they find Sergio? And is Liv picking up the bill?
$100 million. No.
Right. Make him go broke.
Yeah, Liv will probably pick that up. Greg Norman's like, yeah, sure. I mean, I'll talk to MBS. We'll get that taken care of.
What's the last public appearance Greg Norman made? I feel like I haven't seen him in a while.
No, he's at all the tournaments, like passing around beers and stuff. He loves it.
High fiving guys in the range.
Yeah, he loves it.
What's it like being media there? Are they pretty not buttoned? Are they pretty
Yeah, a lot of the people.
like you're in North Korea? Or?
No, a lot of the people. It's funny. Before I went there, we had an email
To North Korea?
No, to the first LIV event. Had our security team send us an email being like, "Don't log into the Wi-Fi. Don't do this. Don't do that." I was like, I don't think they really. I think they got bigger. The Saudis got bigger fish to fry than my browsing history.
Totally.
No, a lot of the people who
Probably
work
couldn't
there.
hurt to have that data.
Yeah.
Right.
All of a sudden,
Oh,
Raptor
where I
starts
sign
like
in
super pro
on
Liv.
Wi-Fi, you think that they're getting me at a golf course? I'm signed into every fucking. I mean, I think about that all the time. I sign into public Wi-Fi's. I sign on to things on TVs at Airbnbs. I sign into everything.
Everywhere.
I give everybody everything.
What are you, crazy? I'm not going to sign into this because of the fucking money it's backed by. What are you, nuts?
Yeah, no, I didn't follow the directions. But no, a lot of the people who work at LIV and media relations used to work at the tour. So it's very similar. It's kind of a shit show though, because at tour events, the way you talk to guys is like they sign their card and then you talk to them after the round. At LIV, there's this like crazy rush because everyone finishes at the same time. So it's like a whole shit show of like trying to decide who's going to come. They definitely don't make people. It's not super easy after the round, but they've been cool. They listen. They want friends, so they're super nice to us. What can I get you? Who do you want to talk to? The guys are definitely trained and given talking points on what to talk about. But as far as the actual media experience, it was like pretty standard.
Yeah, that makes sense. We have a quick from the gallery to get to, and it's from Zach, who said his favorite Truly flavor is wild berry. In 10 years, who are PGA Tour pros thanking more for their bank accounts? Tiger for being Tiger, or Phil for LIV and creating this chaos that has led to more money?
Did you see Xander Schauffele's interview with our friend Dylan DeChair?
No.
He did an interview on the Drop Zone podcast with Dylan DeChair. Friend, we like Dylan.
We do.
Friend of the program.
Friend of the program, for sure.
Great name once you know how to pronounce it.
Yeah. DeChair.
It's not Deathier.
No.
It's you sit in the chair.
Exactly.
That's how he pitched it to us,
And
which was smart.
Xander was basically
So
like,
good.
yeah, Phil was right. This is what Phil wanted to see. We're seeing it. Thank you, Phil. I think there's a little bit of that feeling going on right now.
Has to be.
With the way the tour responded just so quick. I mean, I could not believe how fast everything happened. The tour is going to look nothing like it looked next year. Like that. And Phil's definitely, I think things are sort of flipped in Phil's direction a little bit.
Yeah, it's true. It's undeniably true that if it weren't for what happened with LIV, none of these changes would have been made by the PGA Tour, and definitely not anywhere close to as quickly as they were changed.
There might have been some more money because of the TV deal.
A little bit, but not hundreds of millions. Not these mega, guaranteed cash events for the best players. Not $500K for our guy Kyle, which we talk about in this interview coming up. Like, none of that would have come down, and LIV would not have really happened, I don't think, if it weren't for Phil, how involved he was behind the scenes, literally creating the team environment, making all his pitches go. So the fact that he's the ultimate pariah, like, in the whole thing. It's pretty crazy.
I have seen the argument that if Rory and Tiger is in a world where LIV doesn't exist, if Rory and Tiger had gotten together and had that same meeting and been like, we want to make these changes, would the changes still have happened? Probably. With the urgency? No.
Why Tiger wouldn't have been involved?
Yeah,
Why
true.
would he have cared? You know what I mean?
Right, because they weren't doing that. Like, they just didn't do that.
I've just seen that floated on Twitter.com.
Same. Yeah, and you, Dan, you probably know more about that than we ever will. But I do wonder, right? Like, was there any of that going on? Like, was Phil? Because what Phil has said and will say is like, yeah, I was going to the tour and they just weren't entertaining this. But I find that shocking to believe that, like, if Phil was Phil a year ago as PGA champion and as beloved as he was, and was like, had supportive players and was going to the tour being like, here's what we need to do, that Monahan was just like, go fuck yourself.
I think that's kind of what happened.
That's crazy.
A couple of years ago, or maybe it was 5 or 6 years ago, he didn't play in one of the FedEx Cup playoff events. It used to be 4 events. And he didn't play in one of them. And they asked him why, and he was basically like, I'm just super frustrated with the PGA Tour. Like, I've had all these conversations, and I feel like there are these changes that need to be made, and they're just not making them, and I'm really frustrated. So I actually think he was.
Yeah, it's nuts then that is a huge dropping of the ball by the tour,
It's amazing what a little competition will do. It's true. It's just...
Very much so.
Facts.
I'll still say Tiger, though, to answer the question.
Yeah. Tiger.
Yeah, publicly they'll be saying Tiger.
The little guys will say Phil for right now.
Kyle's definitely grateful to Phil.
Big guys. I mean, those guys, even the big guys that are still on tour, they're going to be making a lot more money because of these changes.
Yeah.
I mean, millions and millions more.
And they know exactly what tournaments they're going to play.
But ultimately, we are talking in the millions because of Tiger.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no LIV without Tiger.
And Tiger's Tiger. There's no foreplay without Tiger.
That's correct.
Yeah.
In the bedroom or
there's
on
no
the
Charlie
podcast.
Woods without Tiger.
That's definitely true.
Or Sam Woods.
True.
No
Those
way.
are just kids.
No
That's just
Barstool
how,
Classic.
That's just
That's
how
how genetics
science
work.
works.
It's just impossible.
That is how genetics work. I think, it's interesting. Phil and Tiger have both contributed in just their own ways, and they couldn't be more opposite.
And I think they've probably never been further apart from each other.
I would imagine so.
There was that little bit of period where they were kind of getting closer to each other, like when they did the match.
Yep.
Tiger ain't talking to Phil.
Dude,
right
when
now,
we
she says.
when we went to the Masters, was that the first time we went to a practice round? They played together.
Oh, that
And they
was-
were hitting flop shots on
Together.
15.
when Phil was wearing the big button-down shirt, I remember
Yeah,
that.
and we were like, "Holy shit, these guys are closer than we thought."
Remember Phil like hold a flop shot? People went nuts. We were
Yes.
standing right there.
So how many times have you guys been then?
Thrice.
Thrice.
I've been twice.
We went to when we had the party at the Jiffy Lube.
Yeah, the Natty
You
Shack.
guys
The
went
Natty
for
Shack.
the,
We went with Gary Player.
yeah.
We rode down Magnolia Lane with Gary Player.
About that.
And that's it,
It's
right?
unbelievable.
You didn't
That
come
is
to the most
so
recent time.
random.
It was great.
That's
It was really fun, actually.
I think it was a lot of it was thanks to
This is before him and all of his sons were in war with each other.
That's what I was gonna say.
Gary versus Mark Player is some drama.
And I think Mark was our guy, right? He was the one that hooked us up.
Mark
with
with a
everything.
C.
Yes.
And he's very active on Twitter, responds to everything. We loved him. He was Mr. Dinner Table guy. Remember that?
He's a charismatic individual.
He sits at the end of the dinner table, invites everybody, and then he just runs the show all night. And
Yep.
he's very charismatic. He's great. But his most recent thing was that, like, apparently he's selling Gary Players, like, memorabilia.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
Gary
without his
Players, like,
permission.
basically put out that weird statement that was like, this is not, you can't sell my stuff. I didn't give him permission, my son. And Mark Player's like, actually, I've been running your whole business. Like, I actually have. These are the guys we were with. Family.
Yeah.
Me and Trent were sleeping under the same roof with these fellas.
We
I
did.
saw someone else. Luka Doncic is like suing his mother for image rights. You never like to see that.
No, it gets too messy.
Sad, man.
And then when did we go the third? Oh, you went the third time. I've been twice.
Me and Frank went when we had to sleep in the Atlanta airport.
That's right. That was horrible.
We slept on a coffee table together.
I have a feeling tonight's going to be a bad night of travel.
You think
I don't
so?
know why. I can foresee.
Shaping up to be bad.
I can foresee just problems. We have to be on the golf course at 7:30, at 6:30 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tee off at 7:30.
Yeah.
How am I going to get there from the city,
I have
man?
no idea.
I'll drive you if you get up. To
It'll take you like 40
I could-
minutes.
Where are you
Yeah, but
staying?
if I can get to Brooklyn, I'm already in an Uber, and I'm just going
It'll take you 40
Early
minutes.
enough, you'll hit no traffic.
Early enough.
Oh, really?
You're going against traffic.
to this really cool course we're playing.
Probably one of the best courses on Long Island.
Amazing. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Easily.
I hit up my dad, who's from Great Neck, and I told him. He said, "Great golf course."
It's really good.
It's getting better too.
Oh, maybe 40 minutes that early? Let's go.
Yeah.
That's fine. I could do that. I'm going to be asleep.
Oh, we could talk about what course we're going to play because it's coming out Thursday. We're playing Glen Oaks.
Yeah, we are.
There you go.
They had the
It's where DJ hit it over the
DJ.
water.
Barclays in 2017.
It is
Something
so
like that.
pure. It's actually fucking. It's like laughable. When
Looks
you're
like
walking around
Augusta.
there.
Okay, what's his name? Craig?
Craig.
The Super?
Yep. We got to get him something nice. He's a big golf guy, big hockey guy. We should bring him something.
It's extremely pure. It looks like Augusta. They have yellow pins. It's
Crazy how pure it is.
It's really good.
Conjoining fairways, water, and then like just like up against the little ponds, the way that they like trim the
I
grass
can't
up against
fucking wait.
up against like the brick. You can't. There's not a piece of grass out of place. It's
It's weird that it's tomorrow. This job is messing with my time.
Oh, yeah, it's a
Alex
nightmare.
was talking about how the President's Cup is next week. I was like, what?
no, it's a nightmare.
I was like, we have 9 things to do in
we haven't
between
been
now and
home.
then.
Fucking
We're
nightmare.
never home. Never home.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
Love
don't
you,
have a
Emma.
home.
Miss you, Emma. Love you, Emma.
You joined up at a time when the travel is a lot.
We completely lied to you. It's just this job
Yeah,
stinks.
I messaged Riggs, or I called Riggs, and he's like, yeah, it's fine. Like, if you ever don't want to go, it's fine. It's just like, okay. I live on the road now.
Yeah.
We are in-
I haven't been home in a week and a half.
We are in our
5 days at home. I think in September or something like that.
Yeah.
We are in our final super busy travel stretch.
Yeah.
And then it gets from
Yeah, but
early.
then we're gonna probably add 4-man scrambles.
We'll
and all
add a
that
few
fucking-
things.
Yeah, but
here and
those are
there,
quick days.
They're quick.
Yeah.
This is like you're just not.
What is October 7th is our day of
That's the day that I return to Arizona.
okay.
No, I thought that's when Travel Series is over? October 7th?
And it might be a little
I think
sooner.
it's 3rd to
We're going to Big Cedar,
6th.
Yeah.
Yeah, Big Cedar
be
Lodge.
electric.
I can't wait.
You guys are gonna love it.
I
I,
can't
was
wait for
talking
that.
off camera with somebody yesterday, being like, I cannot wait for these guys to see Big Cedar Lodge. It is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I've been looking at
I
pictures.
can't wait
Looks
for it to be
insane.
like cool at night. Like a fire and like a hot beverage.
We got to get out there. By the way, boys, I think this thing's going to be coming.
It takes them like 5.5 hours. They've only been out there for 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, this one's not ending at like 1:30.
No, because we usually do 8 a.m. shotgun. This one's 9.
Oh, okay.
So these guys, it's 1 o'clock now. These motherfuckers won't be done till like 2:30. They're slow as shit out there. So yeah, our last day at Big Cedar is the 6th that we're playing and filming and stuff. I have October 7th listed is when I'll return to Arizona. Maybe I'll get a flight, but it's hard to get from Springfield, Missouri to fucking Phoenix.
How are we getting to Big Cedar from New York?
No idea.
Yeah.
You guys want to go boating one day while we're there?
Sure.
You want to do like some tubing and water skiing or something?
Yep. Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
Is the weather going to be appropriate for that?
Yeah. It'll be hot still.
I'm in.
It'll be hot still.
I'm in.
And then they also have go-kart track. Really good one.
Love it.
And this place called the Fun Spot. I think we have to have a race.
Yep.
It's going to be a great time.
I'm in. I'm in on all of it.
We can go
do it.
fishing.
I'm in.
I don't want to get seasick, but I'll
Can we
try.
shoot guns?
We're not on the ocean,
Is
it's
there
a
like
lake.
a shooting range or something?
Lake
Is
sick?
that-
Is that what you
probably
call lake?
We should shoot guns.
Lake sick. We could shoot guns.
Whoa.
I stink at it, but we could shoot guns.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in on all of it. Everything.
All right, folks. Everybody have a great weekend. We're going to be busy, so we'll be back Tuesday with another podcast. But in that time, we are flying from Boston to New York, then New York to Colorado, then Colorado back to New York, and then New York to Charlotte.
Oh, yeah.
Before our next podcast, after you're listening to this, comes out.
You gonna get Diamond by the time we get to Charlotte on
Hopefully.
Delta?
My-
Frankie's
that
really close to
19,000
getting.
miles. I'm 19,000 miles, like the MQMs or whatever.
Yeah.
Away from Diamond on Delta. That's how much we've been flying this year.
I just hit gold on Delta. which
Diamond's
I'm excited
crazy.
about.
Diamond, I
Um,
thought was reserved
you
for like
mentioned-
George Clooney and up in
It's
the
nuts. Yeah, see, I the person next to me on the plane yesterday was watching that, and I was just watching their screen the whole time.
Great movie.
Yeah, it's a
Awesome
great movie.
movie.
Dude, when he packs his suitcase,
It's
like,
so good.
perfectly every time,
It's
and he's
so
got
good.
it.
That's a great ending
It's
to
like a
that movie.
Yeah, it
low
is.
budget movie, and that's like it's really enjoyable.
good.
Colorado. Yeah, we're going back to Colorado.
We're gonna be back in Colorado. I can't. Anytime we say Delta, I just can't stop thinking about that lady that was like, "You're gonna have to
You have to go
contact
speak to
Delta.
Delta.
And I was like,
Right on our shirt.
she said
I guess we
Delta
could tease that
everywhere
one too.
all
I mean,
over.
we're playing against the Stanley Cup champions.
Yes, we
Are
are.
we ready to tease that?
Yeah, I think so. We're playing the New York
fucking
Islanders tomorrow,
Tuesday.
and we're playing. This is coming out Thursday.
I know. I'm just saying, like, we got a lot of time between them when that happens.
Oh, that's happening. We already booked flights. They're playing us.
All right.
Course
Playing the
is
Stanley Cup
course is
champions.
locked in. We're playing.
the most outrageous golf course of all time out there.
Yep.
We have 2 really good 4-man scrambles coming up. I think it's going to be a really exciting time for our YouTube page. And we're going to get them out. I mean, I'm looking at Alex. We're going to get those out right before hockey season, right, Alex? Yeah, that's right.
Poor Alex.
He's fucking
dude.
dialed, dude. This kid's
We're talking about how miserable our lives are. Look at that fucking.
He's
guy over
fucking
there.
dialed. And we've got
Supposed to be
Kyle
playing
back
COD
home.
and fucking Minecraft.
We got Kyle back
Watching the
home,
Bills
and then
all 22.
Bullshit.
Max, right? Max is a new editor. So we've got Brendan, Jake, Alex, Max, Kyle.
Jesus.
That's the crew behind.
Foreplay crew.
That's the crew that's going to be
BTS?
pumping these videos out like you wouldn't believe. We've got 4-man scramble against the Islanders, 4-man scramble against Devon Taves, Cal McCarr, Landeskog, the whole fucking crew. Let's go, man! I can't wait.
I can't wait to meet
gonna be
McCarr,
so
dude. I'm gonna.
sick.
I can't wait to meet McCarr. I'm gonna cave. I'm just gonna be.
And that's
I bet
like
I'm gonna
you
love
playing
them.
It's like you playing the Rangers for me, right?
Yeah. No,
Not
the
yet.
Blackhawks.
The
We
Blackhawks.
hate the
Okay.
Blackhawks. Chicago, St. Louis, obviously long-term rivalry.
Yeah.
But I will say a lot of it's dependent on like the era, and obviously the Avs are a problem for us
They're-
right now.
They
Big
take
problem.
you guys out of the playoffs?
Yeah, and I think the Blues were the only team that really had a chance to beat them this last year. Lost in Game 6. They were leading with like 10 minutes left in the third, and if it weren't for fucking that asshole took out Benner, our goalie, I really think the Blues could have had a serious shot.
Wait,
but-
that guy's playing?
No, he's on where do you go? Calgary now?
Who?
What's his face?
Took out
Kadri.
Oh yeah, he went to Calgary
Did he go to Calgary?
or Ottawa. I mean, he didn't go to the Islanders.
Anyways,
and all that.
he's not.
Where,
Yeah, that's,
went up
where'd he
north.
go? Where'd he go, Danny?
I don't know, Trent.
It's either Calgary or Ottawa. I think it was Calgary.
anyway, he took out.
It was Calgary.
He
By
took
the
out
way, your-
Bennington, which is
your
our
St.
Stanley
Louis
Cup winning
Blues
team.
side. I can never fucking pronounce this guy's name. Kyrou.
Oh, good.
They
He's sick.
signed him for 8 years, $65 million.
He's a stud. Kyrou.
Yeah, Kyrou.
He's a total
I say
stud.
Kyrou, really good.
Yes, we're playing the Avs, which Islanders I can like because they're Eastern Conference. They're kind of my boys. But
Yeah.
the Avs, that's big for me. That's
And
like a team.
we're playing like the best team in the NHL and the best defensive pairing. We're gonna have them on the golf course and their captain. It's gonna be fucking nuts, man. I mean, McCarr's legit. Dude, Wayne Gretzky said that he might be like the best player he's seen skate and handle a puck like in his
Ever.
life.
How old is he, roughly?
Young.
23.
Oh, let's go.
We're playing.
Bro,
this-
Got some youth.
he's like his clips on Twitter go like viral for all the stuff he does.
Is that the really, really viral goal I saw last year?
He did like a spin and like everyone was like, what the fuck
Yeah.
was that? He goes 100 miles an hour, did this spin thing and then sniped short corner. He's a defenseman. He's like Bobby Orr.
How good is he at golf? Do we know?
We'll see.
fuck. Dude, we're playing the team that legitimately is probably going to take out my favorite sports team and like the only sports team I truly root for every year. They're our biggest
Yeah, they're a problem.
Fuck. I love the Avalanche.
So yeah,
jerseys,
we've got two good hockey 4-man scrambles leading into an off season. Hopefully we can get some good golfers going too. So it's good. 4-man scramble's back now.
Yep.
We're back.
It's back. We'll see if we can get a win tomorrow.
We got a lot of travel. Hopefully we make it through it, and then we'll just be at the President's Cup next time. People are
wow.
It really does feel so far away. I'm like staring into the abyss
It's just
right now.
less than a week away. It's less than a week. We have a lot.
Tiger's going to be there, you think?
I think he'll be there.
That
He
makes
loves
me,
those team competitions.
that makes me
does.
excited.
Yeah.
Really tough out there.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's really tough. It's
Well,
just
they
really,
well.
Can't wait to
tough
see
out
him.
there.
I can't wait.
He's posted pictures from this fucking Nexus thing, and he just
looks
looks
great.
great. He's got a good smile.
He looks
Great.
fantastic.
All right, we'll be
I
back.
gotta stand up.
Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
Hit hard.
Shopify, the all-in-one commerce platform to start, run, and grow your business. Shopify gives entrepreneurs the resources once reserved for big business. We're kind of entrepreneurs, you know. We started our own little gambit here.
Gambit?
No.
I remember when I
Our own
first
little
started
gig.
When I first started my blog originally, I was selling T-shirts, and I would have loved something like Shopify because I use some weird service, and you don't know what you're getting into. It's not all that trustworthy. But I was trying to sling shirts, and that was the only way I could do it. Shopify, if you're doing that nowadays, that's who you got to use.
Few people know that you got started out slinging your own shirts.
I did Fran McCaffrey shirts, red face Fran shirts.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many did you sell?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know the number. I think I sold maybe 1,000.
Pretty good.
And then I got shut down. I would have sold a lot more. We were hitting the point where they were starting to get popular and people were seeing them out and they wanted to buy them.
Yeah, the Jetstream.
The Jetstream, right. And I just got shut down by the university. So we would have sold a lot more if that didn't happen. I ended up with boxes and boxes of shirts because I saw it coming. I saw like, we're going to sell a bunch of these, bought a bunch, took a risk on it. And then I ended up with a ton of shirts.
You still have those shirts? You give them
No,
away?
I ended up giving them away.
Shopify offers online retailers a suite of services, including payments, marketing, shipping, and customer engagement tools. Connect with your customers, drive sales, manage your day-to-day. Shopify instantly lets you accept all major payment methods, which is huge. They got thousands of integrations and third-party apps. Go to shopify.com/4. That's all lowercase for a free 14-day trial and get full access to Shopify's entire suite of features. Grow your business with Shopify today. Go to shopify.com/4 right now. Shopify.com/4. So look, I mean, we're just going to pretty much hop right in. We got Kyle Westmoreland. You are the first Air Force Academy grad to ever earn his PGA Tour card. Also, I believe to make the cut at the US Open T68 last year. You've been through a lot of it with the golf over the last couple of years, grinding, making it. What's life like right now as someone who's been, you did obviously Air Force Academy, 5 years of service, grinding, trying to make it, and now here you are, you're in Napa. You described it a little bit, the feeling, but are you trying to hold back a little bit of the excitement of like, hell yeah, I'm on the PGA Tour right now?
No, it's definitely exciting. We're thankful to be here. It's been awesome. It's been a great journey and I've had great people around me to make it possible. But, going up through military time, looking at my buddies and peers who I played college golf with and amateur golf against, seeing them make it, it makes you hungry to get out here and do some damage. Right. And, it's, the last 3 years of playing professional golf, kind of working up through PGA Tour Canada, that was played in the States because of COVID, and then Corn Ferry Tour and now the PGA Tour, thankful to be here, thankful to be able to be on a stage where we can do some good damage, and just excited. We're excited. I think we'll be excited for a long time.
Talk to me about the decision to go Air Force. Obviously, as a golfer, a really good golfer, that's probably not the most traditional route if you want to play on the PGA Tour. Clearly, you're the first guy. What all went into that decision? You know you're going to have to do service afterwards. You know that maybe playing Colorado and the whole deal is not the same as going to an ASU or Oklahoma State or whatever. What all went into that decision for you?
It was really coming out of high school. I was pretty raw. So I did get recruited to a number of this, like kind of the smaller schools at the time in Texas, the U of H, the Texas Tech, that kind of deal. I grew up being a big University of Texas fan. and that's where I wanted to go play. And I planned to, they had a walk-on program at the time. They didn't have any scholarships available because there was this kid named Jordan Spieth that was coming up after me. And so they didn't have any scholarships available at the time. So I planned to do this walk-on program. But at the end of the day, I was thinking about it, like the last week I had to commit to one of the schools, and I had gone through the Air Force process. So most people don't know, like, the application to the Air Force takes about 1.5 years. It's quite the process. So I had gone through that, had been accepted, and, didn't plan on going there at all. But last week I was like, well, if I go to Air Force, I'm not going to take on any debt. I'll come out, I'll have a job out. And honestly, I wasn't thinking about playing professional golf at that point. I was just thinking about trying to make the first tournament, compete at professional and college golf and try to do my best in college golf. So ended up making that decision, had no idea what I was getting myself into. I didn't have any friends or family that went to the Air Force. So I got my butt kicked for about a year.
What are those first like couple weeks of, because our first weeks of school were just like drinking and nothing
as
serious.
A shit show.
I can imagine that the first couple
whole
weeks
thing
of
was
the
a shit show.
the whole thing was a complete shit show. I can imagine that the first month at the Air Force Academy is a little different.
Yeah, you're in basic training and rewind. So back to my recruiting trips. I took all 5 recruiting trips. I went on my recruiting trips by myself, so I kind of got the full experience at these colleges. And Air Force was the only one where I went there and people were sitting in the golf locker room. They were freshmen at the time. Freshmen, kind of take the brunt of it. I said, whatever you do, for the love of God, don't come here. This is not a good place. It's not fun here. And flat, back now, one of my buddies that is actually a mutual friend of ours. He's from LA area. He's now a Thunderbird pilot. So the guy that told me not to go there is now flying for the Air Force demo team, doing all kinds of aerobatics and stuff like that, living the life. So he loves it now. So, fast forward like 10 years and we all like it, but it's a really, or more than 10, maybe 12, I guess, but it was an awesome time. And then to answer your question, going through the first, 3 weeks at Air Force, you go straight into basic training. So week 3, we were living in a tent out in a place called Jacks Valley in the dirt and just, getting it every day. So it was, and it wasn't, there was no alcohol, no alcohol involved. There was some water, probably a little electrolytes and a lot of dirt. So it was awesome. Different college experience, but I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Tell me about the Air Force swagger. I mean, were you when you get like
some background noise?
That's all right. No worries. This is
Look
not
at us.
Exactly. We're a disaster. Tell me about the Air Force swagger. I mean, I know you're going through basic training, you're grinding. Would you finally get those moments to go out on the town or whatever? I mean, especially when you're at college, you carry some pretty serious swagger with you guys when you go out.
Oh yeah. Yes. The short answer is yes. So you don't go out often. Most of your, weeks and weekends are pretty controlled. A lot of them you can't leave. And especially being on a golf team, that weekend is the time they're like really grinding, get after it. But all that leads up to like, a few weekends that you can go out. And we had some guys on our team that had friends at the University of Denver. And, it just, yes. The answer is yes. These weekends that you do go out were kind of like blowout type deals, right? Where you go out and we all had a little bit of money because, you get paid like a stipend to go to Air Force and you're not collecting any debt or anything like that. So financially, it's a great deal. But at the time, like these new, college performance deals were not in effect. So we thought we were, on top of the world and just living large, ski. In Colorado, everything revolves around the mountains in the wintertime. That's most of the time that we had off. So ski trips were, a big thing. And we only had a couple guys get hurt, which was fine. They could suck it up. And so it was good.
I can imagine, man, like up in like Breckenridge or something. Here comes 6'3", 210, Kyle Westmoreland with his gear on, just on a break. He's got a little bit of cash.
There's also a few Las Vegas trips in there too.
There you go. Yeah, it's not far, is it?
It's a short Southwest flight to Las Vegas from Denver.
I read that you made the decision your junior year that you wanted to play professional golf. So at that point, were you kind of already locked into going right into service after school? Could you have deferred, or like what was that process like?
No. So as soon as you hit your first day of class, your junior year at the academy, in that fall, you are committed. So we call committed. You're committed through the last 2 years and through your service time. So if you don't fly, you have a 5-year service time after school just by going there, right? The deal is they pay for your school, they pay for your college, give you a great education, give you all these, access to all these flying programs and everything throughout the summer. And then you kind of pay it back with your service time, but you do have a job there. So, you know, like I said, financially, it's a great deal, but you are committed your first day of your junior year for 5 years. So when I decided that I was going to play professional golf as a, you know, afterwards as a junior, I was already committed in that stream. Right. And if you're a pilot, it's a 12-year service commitment afterwards. Ooh. So they invest so much in pilot training that, you know, there's a return on that investment that, you know, the Air Force has to get.
What are your options when you show up for what you're going to study, what you're going to major in at Air Force? I'm an idiot. I just think like, oh, Air Force, they're going to throw you in a plane, you're going to fly, and you're going to take out bad guys. It's going to be great. That's the only thing I think about.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Exactly.
Show you Top Gun.
Everyone's there to be, you know, in theory, like an engineer is kind of what the school is about, right? There are a ton of different majors. You can go English, you could go like political science, you could do a business major, you could do any engineering you could think of. You can do like history, you know, no matter what major you are, though, it's all a Bachelor of Science because the core classes are all the basic math, physics, chemistries, and engineering. So everyone has to take those classes, and then your majors kind of come about, you know, majors class kind of come about like kind of later in your junior year, which is a little different than I think a normal school. From what I hear, they start getting sprinkled in a little bit earlier. But there's all kinds of things you can do. The predominant major is aeronautical engineering. Like that's what they want you to do, or astro. So like, you know, space, you know, airspace, cyberspace used to be the mission, right? And since the Space Force has split off and it's become a new entity, but that was the mission when I was there. So aeronautical engineering and astro were the two big majors. I was a business major because I was trying to play a lot of golf, and you know, my brain works a little bit better and on the business side of things than it did crunching, you know, Calc 3 numbers.
Same.
So I saw that you were in the financial services department. Is that right?
Yeah.
I know you did 5 years of service.
Financial management.
Financial management. So walk us through what does that actually look like? We're having some technical difficulties here. Not sure if you can hear us, but what does that look like?
Yeah. Financial management, you know, it's basically your typical like budgeting, forecasting, right? It's the complete opposite your civilian world where companies are like actually trying to make money. You're trying to spend the money that the government gives you in an effective and efficient manner and plan for it for years to come. So I kind of did that for about 2.5 years, and I had to pay dues, right? It's like 6 months of being a glorified secretary. We call it an exec. But you basically work for the commander and you field all of his emails and, you know, get some coffee, and it's basically your, you know, controlling schedule, right? It's a glorified secretary, but everyone's got to do it. It helps you out. It helps you get to where you want to go the next one. If the commander of the base gives you a good recommendation, you pretty much pick your job. And that was the goal. So I did that and then went back to the Air Force Academy to teach for my last two, which was awesome. But I was stationed in Biloxi, Mississippi for about half a year. Big spot. You know, I had pretty low expectations and they blew them out of the water. I actually liked Biloxi quite a bit. And then I went to Charleston, South Carolina for about 2.5 years, and then back to the academy for another 2.5 years to teach. So it was awesome.
Just during this, you know, your service, 5 years, what's your availability, accessibility to golf, practicing golf, playing golf, grinding?
I played a few Mondays each year, and I played tried to play like 1 or 2 state open type tournaments. But, you know, the mission came first, and that was the deal. And we knew that. During my time, you know, thankful for my time and when I was in Charleston, got to travel a little bit. So got to go tour around Africa 3 times, and it was you know, there were some good places, some bad places, but a lot of great people I met. So thankful for that. But the mission was first, and you know, I did get through a few Mondays, so that was fun. Kind of navigating, you know, playing, you know, saying I was going to be gone for a day and then playing a week. I probably could have navigated a little bit better with my commanders, but you know, saying you're going to be gone for a day seems a little bit better, and then asking for forgiveness was, you know, seems like at the time seemed like a good idea. So playing the Mondays and just a couple days a week, you get 30 days to leave. So I try to use at least a couple of weeks of those to play some golf while I was in.
Yeah, that's amazing to me because you think like those prime years, in your low mid-20s of like that's when the Jordan Spieth who took your spot at Texas is like out there winning majors, and here you are, you're focused on the mission. I'll be the first one to thank you for your service on the show, by the way.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
But what was?
Yeah.
I don't make a mockery of it. I was going to do it at the end. It's not a joke to me. So
It's not a joke.
no.
What was your favorite, most interesting or surprising place that you visited, that you saw, that you were like, wow, this place is great?
Oh man. So we were en route to Niger. Or Niger, not a great spot. I've been there before. There's a reason, like there are no resources there. It's just a tough place to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I went to sleep in the back of the plane. So I would ride in the back of the C-17s, and you can have you can put up like a hammock, or you can basically string up however you want to, travel there. My mode was a hammock, and went to sleep en route and woke up and looked out, there's like two little peepholes on the side, right? You get two on the front, two on the back, but it's a massive plane and there's just two little holes to look through. So I walk up there and look through these holes and see like beach on one side. I was like, holy cow. And so I ran to the other side of the plane, it's like probably like 10 yards, ran to the other, looked out, and there was a mountain. I was like, holy hell, like where are we? Where are we right now? So I ran up to the cockpit. It's like upstairs, and they're like, oh, we're in Suda Bay, Greece. So we were on the island of Crete in Greece. So we got diverted mid-flight, and thought I was going to be in Niger, and ended up in Greece. So that was the biggest win I had, probably of my entire military time.
We're known for having an opinion on this show. That's true. We're not usually spot on. It says we are usually spot on. I don't know if that's true either. I don't know if either one of those things.
I think that has increased since Danny has been on the show, personally.
Here's our hottest new take.
Thanks, Trent.
It's not a bad time to buy a home. In fact, for some, it could be the perfect time. With low to no money down or refi options that let you draw a line of credit with lower interest than a credit card, CrossCountry Mortgage has all your bases covered. CCM listens, understands, and communicates throughout the entire loan process. Provide more loan options tailored to your financial capabilities. Innovative technology focuses on what's important to fulfill your loan needs. They got faster closing times than the competition, stable monthly payments, low to no down payments. Access your equity to use for larger expenses, from debt consolidation to home renovations. Owning a home is cool. There's no doubt about
It's
it.
amazing. And I am a CrossCountry Mortgage
Enthusiast.
I am a customer.
Loyalist.
I am a user.
Mm-hmm. So
So not only did they make the entire process of actually getting the loan to be super simple, but once you're now a customer of CrossCountry Mortgage, they send you all these really cool tools. One of them being the Home Bot. And I remember my buddy, Chris Devon, who was my...
loan officer?
He was my loan officer. Yeah, he's a senior vice president over there at CrossCountry Mortgage. He's in
SVP?
Boston. He's in Boston. He's right around here, I think. We're in his hometown.
Swing by and say hi to him.
He should have came here. What the hell?
That he'd help us with our loan if we
He
wanted.
sends you this Home Bot, which is basically this tool that tells you what your equity currently is and what the surrounding area is doing, like if it's cooling down, if it's heating up, and what your options are with your house. So whether you want to take a chunk off your mortgage and pay another one up, or whether you want to maybe sell your house, what would you get for it? Like, what is the value of your home? It sends it to you every single month. And it's something that these other companies do not do. So the Home Bot is an amazing feature and a really cool tool that once you are locked in, I check it every single month. It's really interesting to be like, holy shit, our house went up $20,000 since last month. All right, it's moving up. So you always have options. And in this world now where everyone's moving around, where, who knows what our lives are going to be like. I might need to get out of here in the blink of an eye. I might need to move somewhere. Maybe I got to go to Colorado, go see the mountains.
California.
Maybe go to California. And I want to know what my house is worth. That's usually a shitty process. Bang, I already know it because of CrossCountry Mortgage.
Who doesn't love swag as well? Get a free Barstool and CrossCountry Mortgage sweatshirt when you sign up to refi or get pre-approval while supplies last. See if you qualify today. Visit ccm.com/barstool right now. CrossCountry Mortgage, LLC, NMLS 3029. All loans subject to underwriting approval. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org.
Buddy Michael Sneeden, a guy I used to work with at Golf Digest, I know you're pals with. He's caddied for you a couple times. He told me that you got your Corn Ferry starts on the number. You got into the U.S. Open on the number, and you got your PGA Tour card basically on the number. You're 25th. So do you just hate breathing room? Do you just love to leave it to the last second?
I did have on the Corn Ferry, I did have like a little bit of leeway by like a couple shots, right? But the difference between like T19 and T40 is literally like 2 shots, you know. So
Right.
so it was
But
on the number.
Three shots going the other way, and you don't play in the U.S. Open, and you're not on the PGA Tour. It's just wild. Your journey's been so around the world, and it came down to this far 3 times.
Yeah, I'll tell you that being on the number at either Q School or Corn Ferry Finals is not the spot to be. You gotta play a little bit better and not be on that number, because after the 2 hours after I finished last week were not that fun. they were stressful, and they were fun. It was a great time, and I'm glad to be on this side of it. But I wish I would have taken just done my job and played better, and then we wouldn't have been on that number. But thankful that it's turned out the way it has. I wouldn't trade it. When you put yourself in those situations where it's a pressure packed situation, and you do perform, like I thought I needed to make a birdie on the last hole of Q School or of Corn Ferry Tour Finals, and I did. Turns out I didn't, but just being in a situation where like, hey, your back's against the wall, you need to do this, and getting it done. It's all buildings.
Do you feel like you
moving forward, we can kind of build on that?
Do you feel like you have an advantage in these situations because of your background? Like, you've seen some shit that these guys haven't seen. You've been through some stuff that these guys haven't been through. Do you feel like when the going gets tough, your background helps you?
I think, the military, like the biggest benefit that it gave me is perspective, right? And kind of the knowledge of like who you are. So many of these guys come out really early, fresh out of college, and they can barely can tie their shoes, right? And they're coming out, and
country club
no one knows who.
out there.
Yeah, I would argue that no one really knows who you are, like who you are, what's important to you at 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I got hit in the face with some perspective and some life experience that I think I kind of use to drive me and kind of power me. And I don't get super up or down, but I'm pretty dedicated to the day in, day out, kind of putting one foot in front of the other and just trying to get better. And that's what I like to do. And I think that's what the military taught me in a great way. Is you have the end goal, but you got to put a foot forward and try to accomplish that mission of the day. And so that's kind of what I focus on, and then just let what plays out play out.
What so it's only Tuesday of your first event this season, but I'm sure you've noticed a few things already of like, okay, this is different now that we're out on the PGA Tour versus a Corn Ferry Tour. What stuck out?
Yeah, well, first fans were out on a Monday. That is,
people are there.
People are here on a Monday, and then the media around it. It's truly the show, like the big show, right? You're here. There's a bunch of media. The support around it is incredible, and I'm thankful for all these people, all the opportunities I've had this week. But getting the PGA Tour, it's obviously the predominant tour, and people kind of. I think there's the support around tours is crazy. Like the amount of people that it takes to put on this golf tournament are nuts in comparison to the Corn Ferry Tour, and I can't be thankful enough for all the volunteers and the work been going at this for weeks to make this make an event like this happen.
What's your prep look like for a normal week? Trying to treat it like a normal week like this. How many practice rounds? Do you take course tours leading out? Have you been there before? What's just like a typical prep week look like for you?
Yeah, so I won't be in a Wednesday pro-am. The Wednesday pro-ams to go off like prior year FedEx Cup, right? So none of the guys out of the Corn Ferry Tour category this year will be in pro-am. So on Monday, Tuesday this week, I played 9 and 9. Played the front yesterday. I'll play the back. Play the back today. On Saturday we got out here because we were at new player orientation. We had a few hours, so got out, grabbed a moon bag out of the caddy barn, and grabbed 5 clubs. Went and played 4 holes, just kind of get some blood flow and enjoy it. And Carson Young and I had our $5 match went to $10, so it's a big jump here.
You guys started playing for more when you got your tour cards.
Yeah, exactly. And then guacamole on the Chipotle bowls, as Victor Hovland said, right?
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
No, it's great. It's I play 9 and 9. That's typically all I'll do because I like to do a full practice. I every day I go on, TrackMan. It's kind of changed golf, but I go on TrackMan and just kind of like calibrate like numbers, like where my wedges are, how far my wedges are going, how far each club in the bag is going in the morning versus the afternoon. Right. I like to play 9 stretch early, 8, 9, and then I like to play the other one to like 2. So I can get kind of both sets of numbers, because the weather here it looks like it's going to be pretty, consistent throughout the week, kind of 60s. It's perfect. 60s, in the morning, and then low 60s in the morning, and then, 85 in the afternoon. So the ball will, effectively go probably like 3-4% farther in the afternoon, which is great. So I kind of get those numbers. I, plot those. I don't adjust off sea level or anything. I just kind of normalize to where we're at and go about it. Your goal in golf, I got a nice piece of advice from a good buddy and a great player. Said, play your practice rounds in the afternoon, because that's when you're trying to play 3 days of the week. So it's a pretty good deal. And if you play in the afternoon, you missed about 90% of the crew, or just the whole circus that is here. All the players, all the managers, all the caddies, all the teachers. So I try to go out and tour reps, and try to go out late when I can just do my thing and get around there in a more efficient amount of time.
I think this is the first year of the $500,000 minimum. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
if
the listeners don't know, the PGA Tour is now guaranteeing $500,000 for everyone, basically, with a tour card. Your goal is obviously to make way more than that. If you're going to keep your card or finish in the top 125, you got to be north of $1 million. But is that big to have that safety net, to know that no matter what, there's $500,000 coming your way for getting that card?
Yeah, it's a great perk. For it to come out this year, like, we'll call it what it is. It got expedited by LIV, and I think this was in process for a while, and the fact that it came out this year is huge. It makes a difference for a lot of these guys. A lot of guys for golf, so they're kind of really like, it's a game changer. It makes a difference. We all get that on Tuesday today. So it's a big deal for a lot of guys, and a big deal for me.
They give you the money now, and then you kind of like, is that what you? Sorry, we're having a little bit of problems, but they give you the money today.
Tuesday.
So you're getting 500 G's today.
Yes, sir.
How does that feel?
Not the worst day. Yeah, not the worst day. I'm getting paid to talk to you guys.
That's really interesting. I didn't know that's how they did it.
No, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, it's something with like the way the company's structured financially. It's not a traditional 501(c). So they had to do it all once, or else they would be considered like a kind of like a for-profit type thing. So they give it all at once, and then we take it, and it's awesome. It's a great perk to have. The perks of being on this tour have never been better, so I'm thankful to have got my card this year.
You get your courtesy card this week?
No courtesy cars in Napa, but we'll happily get a rental car. The Avis line is great here. You can either fly into San Francisco or Sacramento, and it was great. So shout out to Avis for doing a great job this week.
I didn't realize that $500,000 came in one
So
piece.
if you win a tournament for $1.2 million this week or something, whatever it's going to be, he gets $700,000.
I don't. Yeah, how does it work? So your first 500 come out of that?
Correct. Yep. All your on-course winnings go, basically to that until you increase the threshold.
Got it.
That makes sense.
So if I was to win, 9,000 this week, I get 9,000.
Got it.
All
So
right.
it's honestly it's a great deal. Thanks to the PGA Tour for doing it.
It's funny. It's like, if you're just a degenerate, like, you might just go spend your $500,000. Like, oh shit, it didn't work out.
I hope, because I hope people don't go and spend it. The financial manager in me says, like, hey, there's going to be quite a bit of taxes taken out of that. So don't go blow it up.
Yeah, that's right. Taxes go to. If you had to rate PGA Tour Orientation Experience 1 through 10, what would you rate it on a fun level?
Well, it depends on who you are. There's a few guys that had a pretty good time in there that are moving slow this week. They do a great job of it's an orientation, but it's kind of a celebration at the same time, and you're doing it with all the guys that just came off the North American Tour that you played with all the years. So it's kind of accumulation of that, and they did a really good job, right? I think in any organization, if you kind of give guys insight into, how the PGA works, where funding comes from, how to be successful, kind of give people, some buy-in with, an organization. I think that's how you create loyalty. And as at the time right now where there is competition in the golf world, I think they did a great job with it. Is there filler in a 2-day orientation? Yes. Like no one is going to go to a convention or whatever for 2 days, and there's not time to fill that on probably with power. But I would say for the most part, it was a great experience. They, they took us to like, 2 wineries in Napa, right? Like what spouses were invited. There was, it's pretty, we're pretty fortunate to, to be doing it. So I can't say anything bad about it.
Is the goal this year just keeping the card? What's the goal going into the first season?
Win every tournament.
Yeah. So I typically keep my goals pretty close, but the goal is not to get to the PGA Tour. The goal is to win on the PGA Tour. So we got to keep pushing and get a little bit better at areas that we can, and just keep pushing until we do that. Getting to the PGA Tour is a huge, stepping stone in that. Being able to play more than like 1 or 2 events a year that you might qualify for is huge. But we're going to keep putting further and try to keep there and invest in our process and see if we can't win out here.
That'd be great. God, I'd like that.
Yeah.
Do you think like Kyle Westmoreland of the U.S. Air Force Academy is the least likely guy to go to LIV in the world?
I got to be up there pretty high.
Have to be. Just a non-starter for you. Just don't even come and ask me.
I mean, I think I blame nobody for the decisions they make, right? Like I think, there's so many good things that go from either staying or going or whatever you decide. I just think that it's important that if there are repercussions and you look at those repercussions and you see them and you acknowledge them, then you got to live with them, right? And so if you go there, if you're here. But to be honest, the world of golf is an exciting place for me right now. LIV Golf is, hey, it's changed some lives. However, the PGA Tour is taking, some pretty good steps to make sure that it's life changing as well. So don't blame anybody. But to answer your question, I'm probably pretty high on that least likely list.
Yeah, you got to think so. Well, look, Kyle, we appreciate it. It's very, very cool. Obviously, you're at the PGA Tour. I like seeing the stars in your eyes. You're clearly like, I'm out here, I'm doing it. You got a whole season ahead of you. So yeah, we appreciate you taking the time. I know it's early too in California. I think it's like you started at 8 a.m. there with us. So we appreciate that.
If I'm not up and moving at 8 a.m., there should be a problem there.
Yeah, you probably woke up at like 5 for like 10 years, right?
Yeah, except for I just missed the link on this podcast. So, I can wake up early, but if I'm not tech savvy enough, it doesn't do me any good.
Incredible. Well, yeah, we appreciate it, man. Thank you very much for the time. Good luck. Congratulations on everything, on making it this far. And yeah, hopefully lots to come.
Go USA.
I appreciate y'all. Thanks for doing this, and go Air Force, beat Army, sink Navy, right?
I love it.
Thank you for your
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate it.